This historic airport calling for Racing Unleashed Season 2023 Beyond the Pinnacle. Today we race at the Autodromo Enzo Dino Ferrari in Imola. Ladies and gentlemen, start your simulators. Get ready for racing.
This is Racing Unleashed Beyond the Pinnacle.
And it is Gringo. It's a good start from Rockley. Oh, they make contact! Absolutely flying, a man on a mission at the moment. Right into gravel. So what's happened? Run! Oh, it's chaos! Can't overtake East. Agustin torching a very happy man on the simulator as well.
This is Racing Unleashed.
Welcome to Racing Unleashed, where we'll be on the pinnacle here in 2023. I'm your host, Mathew Duffin, and we're here for Challenge 4. It is Imola, the fourth race of the weekend, the season. These Challenger League drivers and the Racing League drivers coming up tomorrow. Imola, a fantastic, famous circuit that these drivers have to get themselves used to around this weekend. It's Challenge 4 and 10. What a challenge it's going to be today for these drivers. We're here in our live interactive studio, and we're still overwhelmed by how nice this all looks. We're here ready for some fantastic racing today, and this what the drivers are going to be racing in. It is Racing Unleashed U23, and it still looks as good as it did the last time you saw it. Still a car, a thing of absolute beauty that the drivers got to tame, tackle and get used to in this weekend, because these drivers are on a tricky circuit, or slow and fast corners for these drivers to use this speed. And where will they use push to pass? This is the biggest question this weekend, over the fact that there's a lot of short straights. The start straight, you think at Imola, going to be the one real chance to use that to pass, but it's going to be enough, or we see some drivers use it as a bit of a surprise over their competitors this afternoon. We've got the Challenger League drivers. We've got 20 Challenger League drivers out there on the grid today. We've got a returning face. Yes, that's right. Michael Eversick is back and is ready to go. And this is the prize money that the drivers are playing for this afternoon. The far side over there, the Challenger League, is the prize money that these drivers are competing for not just a race win, but a top 10 finish as well. You see 750 Swiss francs in your back pocket if you take that race win today, and that goes all the way down to 30. The main prize as well, that beautiful trophy over there they are looking at, is this here, 3,000 Swiss francs for the season if they take the championship win, and it goes all the way down to 100. Racer League you see here, we'll get more into that one tomorrow. It's not just that trophy at the farm, the smaller one that the Racer League, the Challenge League drivers are playing. It's that 3,000 Swiss francs at the end of the season as well that these drivers are going to be competing for and look to get their hands on. And it's been a fantastic season so far. We've 3 thrilling races. And these are the cars that take you through tonight's action. We have 4 of the cars in use. The one closest to me, you see there, the yellow liveried car with the red helmet, wing mirrors, the stripes on the front wing. That is Calm's livery, if you will. So any driver in Calm tonight will be in the red. Munich sporting the fantastic pink as always. Madrid, you see the yellow tint on their car. And at the very far end, the Zurich Kemptal Lounge with the green on it. No Zurich Airport with the light blue this week. So they are the 5 challengers that you'll notice. So red Calm, pink Munich, yellow for Madrid, and green for Zurich Kemptal Lounge. And it is the pink car of Munich that at the moment hasn't won a race, Racer League or Challenger League, this season. And this is going to be a task for the drivers in Munich this weekend to see if it can break that curse. Let's see, though, we are located around the world, across Europe, mainly at the moment. This is where we are. As you see there, the beautiful planet Earth, as we zoom in towards European continent, to go to Madrid. Start with our Spanish lounge. We've had 1 Challenger League race win at the moment, and there is the lounge from Google Maps itself. And this is the lounge. We've looked at the support there today for our Madrid competitors. You see drivers already in their gear up, getting them ready to go for the race coming up, and the knockout qualifying session coming up later on. But great support in our Madrid lounge there, and great to see some fan base cheer these drivers on in their competition this afternoon in this Challenger League. So we've seen from Planet Earth down to Madrid. Where's next? We'll find out in a moment. It'll be Madrid or Kemptal. That is again. And here we go once again. Let's fly, though, to our next location from sunny Spain all the way through Europe. Couple of hours on a plane. or a couple of hours in the car if you want to drive it, all the way down to Germany and Munich, to be precise, for our Munich lounge. Yet to get a race win this season. What can they do? You see the drivers there all preparing in Europe as well, and there's a wave from our Munich compatriots giving us a big wave. Racing lounge, and what can they today? They've got to work hard to really get a race win. We've had a pole position for them with Mohamed Ramzi last time out, but they need a race win. And now we fly from Munich to Kemptthal in Switzerland, where these guys are currently not leading the championship, have 2 race wins to their aim in the Challenge League. As we zoom on planet Earth, we head to Switzerland, where Zurich is the destination. In all the way to the motor world, where we can see JW, and not just James as well, but the owner of Racing League, Francisco.
But this might be top moment. Francisco, what a moment. Great to see you here. So today we're obviously here to witness some incredible racing talent. Before we get started, I want to find out a little bit more about how it started, why you started it, and really the sort of dream goals of where you think this platform can go and the opportunities for the drivers.
You know, I've had a passion for cars since I'm a child. But I made my driver's license actually quite late because our parents did never have a car. They couldn't order a car. So I had a small toy, actually Lamborghini Miura SV. Said one day I will have one of these, and as you can see, I did. Now the start of Racing Unleashed, I met some engineers, which was actually a spin-off factory of the Formula 1 team of Ferrari. I invented these beautiful simulators, which we'll see in a second. And I said, that's an amazing machine. I was driving it. I was really fell in love with it. I said, we need a business idea what to do with this beautiful thing. And I said, why not democratizing motorsports, making it more affordable, accessible to everyone on the planet? Why is motorsport not possible to be a mass sport? Why are there only 20 athletes in the Formula 1? Yeah, we'll have 200,000 athletes globally. Sure. And that was the vision, and then the rest was thinking of how to achieve that.
Fantastic. So we have seen some incredible talent that has come from Racing Unleashed so far. Is the idea that these racers are able to get as experience as time as they can in the sim world, because these are getting really advanced now, and then be able to take that skill and translate it into the more real-world racing?
Because if you think of virtual racing starting from game on your iPhone, and real Formula 1 car, we are, let's say, 90% in the neighborhood of real car. So that means the train effect is amazing, fantastic, and we have already proven that best sim racers, talking about sim racers this category, can make an alternative career. If they wish, they can transfer to the physical race, but it's not a must, because virtual racing per se is a sport that is probably going to kick ass in F1, but I think there's coexistence both, because the visceral experience you have with real race cars, you know, the vibrations, the G-force, the smell, the sound, it will never disappear. But you can have an alternative career and learning path on virtual racing, and eventually, if you like, go into Formula 4321 or GT racing, LMP1, whatever. This should be possible.
Fantastic. So while viewers at home, they're looking at this, wondering how they can get into the seats and experience it for themselves, what is the way for someone to come down and experience a Racing Lounge?
So it's relatively simple. While stepping in a GT4 car, you need between 100,000 200,000 euros. At 2,500, you get a yearly subscription, and you can train on these wonderful machines. You know, the whole year long. So Monday to Friday, if you wish. Some people decide to put some of these things at home, but I think to be in the family, to race each other, you know, share this experience in the Racing Lounge, it's even more emotional.
You'd be forgiven for thinking that these might not be as immersive as you first think. Take it from me, I've been really fortunate to be around these races. And you come out, I genuinely gained a lot of value from having seat time in terms of breaking, learning lines, understanding racecraft, and esports in itself as a racing category. The skill of these races, which we'll see in a minute, unbelievable.
Yes. Free. Can't say better.
Fantastic. Right, we're here for the next round. You're going to be joining us to go live, as we mentioned, some of these incredible talents. And in between the races, I'm going to be going around and getting some of them to find out how they go.
And thank you there to James and Francisco as well, talking us through these fantastic simulators and the beautiful cars in the background. And like James said there, the physical effort in simulators is as close to real life as possible. And it's great to see. I've had a couple of goes in them myself, and I tell you what, it is for a fit man or lady to be inside. It is not for someone who is untrained like myself, because it does work up a sweat, and it really does make you sore. The next morning, we are live in Kemptthal with our camera crew and James throughout the day, and like he We'll be speaking to drivers and getting their opinions with James as they go through the session. And there's a great atmosphere in our Kempthal lounge today. We saw in Madrid how many fans and spectators there are there. There's great following in our Kempthal lounge as well. Great to see. And there's a lovely little car here that we're going to get into a little later on in the programme as well. But we've pulled the surfers out. We've pulled no stops. Spared no expense for these drivers. And James and everybody, fans, friends, family, whoever you are, we're all well down today. This fantastic atmosphere at the Kempthal lounge. And if you want to get involved with Racing Unleashed, don't forget the qualification window for the next Challenger League opens up on the 17th of July and closes on the 26th of July. So if you want to get involved, get down to one of 5 racing lounges, get yourself qualified, and you could be one of these 20 drivers lining up on the grid for the next round at the end of July. And that would be an absolutely fantastic thing to see. If you want to come down just in general and just try the simulators out for yourself, make sure you go to one of our 5 racing lounges and experience firsthand what our drivers this weekend have to feel and go through, because it is a very, very tricky challenge indeed. So that is the 17th of July to 26th of July for the qualification period for Challenger League for Challenge 5. These are the drivers though, with just under 2.5 minutes left of the gear up session, and it is your championship leader who leading the way once again. 1/10 quick than Marcus Valverde. Janik Pletscher is the man to watch. We're on board him at the moment, and he is your current championship leader. He's won a race, he's been on the podium, top 5 finishes, he's been a man who's been consistent all season, has Janik Pletscher. Close between the top 9 there, your top 8, sorry, 9/10 can separate them, so we're in for a good set here. And it's great to see it, this fantastic Imola circuit. Pletscher about to complete a lap time, and does he improve? No, he does not improve at all. So Marcus Valverde currently second, Nico Fahland third to 2/10 off the back, so it's great to see. Here's Janik Pletscher though, in his cockpit, Kempthal, and for James, all the fans there, they can go and just stand behind him and watch how he takes it. And one thing you notice with Janik Pletscher, got a bit of merchandise on this week, that's the first thing I've noticed, is he's always calm. He never looks flustered, he never looks like out of control with emotions or anything. He's a calm driver, and he is willing to give it everything he's got. And hopefully he can have a great race this weekend once again. So that is gear up that is coming towards. And then there is 1 minute 10 seconds left of that gear up session, and man, your championship leader. But he didn't win last time out. That went the way of Marcus Valverde. A fantastic race. Came from by the back, if you remember, with a knockout qualifying ban and got right towards the front. He was, Agustin Torlaschi won, apologies, last time out, but Valverde got himself on the podium from by the grid and had fantastic pace. But it was Agustin Torlaschi who took his and Madrid's first race win of the season then. But this similar, it's a different challenge. It's different circuit. It's a whole new ball game this time out. We've got slow corners, we've got fast corners, we've got medium speed corners, got a bit of everything around this track. The drivers are qualifying and in their gear up session with nose to pass as well, so they've used push to pass in this race. Excuse me. And where will the drivers use this push to pass? The main straight look favourite place to do it, but there is other little bits that you could possibly do it, as well as some corners to maybe look the inside and make a few moves done. The Challenger League is going to be fantastic though. Let's take a look at Agustin Torlaschi's race win last time out. He comes to turn 1, he goes up the inside, and little wiggle in the middle of the corner for Torlaschi, and he holds on well. He takes the lead of this race. Great move, Agustin Torlaschi. Here comes Agustin Torlaschi. It's going to be a race win for Madrid. It's going to be a 1-2 provision for Madrid. Agustin Torlaschi, your race winner. P1 provision for him. Agustin Torlaschi, your provisional race winner. Argentinian. High fives and smiles. Jello, a very happy man. A kiss on the simulator as well.
Yeah,
he's enjoyed that one. He'll enjoy that for a long time.
Yeah, very good. And you see how much it means to him.
This is Racing Unleashed Beyond the Pinnacle.
You do see how much it means to Agustin Torlaschi, see how it means to all these drivers to win races here. That's Madrid's first win since, if you remember, Prologue back in April, where also took a race win in the Prologue in that event. And since then, it's Kempthal who's been the dominant force in the race league, with Rockmer taking a win and Janik Pletscher himself. Munich yet to get 2 drivers in calm today. We'll see what they can do as well. And I'm glad to see a turning face on the grid in Kempthal. Michael Leversick. We do have 20 drivers on a knockout qualifier. Here, though, was the final classification for Mugello. And it went the way of Agustin, Torlaschi. Marcus Valverde came from back of the grid to finish in second place. Nico Fahland round up the podium. Adrian Gomez was P4 with Pletscher in P5. Antonio Rivoli, 6th place. Mohamed Ramsey was on pole. He went all the way down to P7. Rock Mertzel not the run for him in 8th with Borges 9th. And Robin Doney rounding out the top 10 and the point. Thomas Herzog got 11th place from Joe Hayder, Gianluca Palmisano, Andrea Walter Troninger, Lorenzo Hayde, Fabio Schil, Unai Morato, Mario Stanek and Chris Hatsky. Then rounding out to the top 20, and the standings for the Challenger League look a little like this. It's Janik Pletscher still number 1, but it's 9-point gap to Nico Fahland now. Agustin Torlaschi up into P3 with Adrian Gomez P4. Mertzel drops down to 5th. Marcus Valverde really climbs up them standings 6th place. Cesaro, Joshua Hayder, Lorenzo Hayder all drop down to 8th for 9th. Antonio Rivoli round out the top 10 with 8 points at the moment. And that is after race of 10. There then. So that is your top 10 in the current standings. And for these drivers, it is the knockout qualifying. If you are new to Racing Unleashed, it is a reverse championship standings knockout qualifying, which will set it. Here's the bottom half of the standings. Walter Troninger with Gianluca Palmisano dropping out that top 10. And Mohamed Ramsey all tied on 6 points apiece. Tyler Klausch on 2 with Besnik Ertezi on 2 points. Fabio Schlegel and Rindoni on 11 points. All the other drivers then are yet to score this season, especially one man, Thomas Herzog, Iron Man, who was here with us the other week at rush hour, yet to score, but always just been outside that top 10 in every race so far this season. So can he make this comeback and get that step into the point, even if it's just one? Can Thomas get it? This, though, is the qualification phase. We're on about race 5. If you want qualified to be here for Challenge 5, 17th of July till the 26th of July. That is when qualification opens. We're not back 2 weeks' time. We're back 4 weeks' time. We get a bit of a break this time. But 17th to the 26th of July, that's what you want to qualify for. So get down to a race lounge, whether it's Munich, Madrid, or 1 of 3 in Switzerland. Get down, qualify, see if you can in the top 20 on this grid for next time out, because it'll be brilliant to see new faces. It'll be brilliant returning faces. And let's see what drivers we get on the grid. Try and take the challenge to Janik Pletscher and Nico Fahland as they go through their season. The Challenger League, if you're wondering why we're qualification phase for the Challenger League, because it is open to all in this Challenger League. Nobody is set on the space. So even though Janik Pletscher leads the championship, if he's not quick enough in that top 20 drivers, he will not qualify to do the next race. The only one that is a dead set to be locked in, is the Racer League we'll see tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow morning, should I say. That is where you are locked in. The safety car is on the grid. The drivers are all lined up here at Imola, and we're about to get underway for our knockout session. I will run you through the order just very quickly. And bear with me for first name, because new driver. We've had a few names wrong this season. With Dennis Eichenberger, we're going with that. Matthias Overkirk is second place. Paul Waversick will line up P3. Andreas Koch will line up 4. Thomas Herzog will line up 5. Robin Doney will line up 6th place. Fabio Schlegel in 7th. Tyler Klausch 8th. Mohamed Ramsey will line up P. Gianluca Palmisano 10th, with Walter Troninger in 11th. Borges 12th. Marcus Valverde 13th. Rock Mertzel 14th. Adrian Gomez 15th. Agustin Torlaschi, timeout race winner, line up in P16. Nico Fahland 17th. Janik Pletscher P18. 2 drivers not competing in this knockout qualifying. Roberto Miguez is on a knockout defined ban, as is Mario Stanek. Them 2 will not be participating in knockout today. They are knockout banned, but the only 2 knockout bans of weekend at the moment for Mario Stanek and for Roberto Miguez. No bans tomorrow. This is great to see. This penalty system may now just starting to affect, and drivers realising what they have to get this one done in the knock session. So it's our Mercedes AMG GT3 car that will lead the pack away. And if you're new to Racing Unleashed, the way the format works is Mercedes AMG GT3 will do one warm-up with the drive. The lead driver then will control the pace when safety car pulls into the pits, and it will all be down to him to make sure that the green flag flies. We go racing. It is today 2 guided laps, means 2 racing laps. We overtake, we can pass people, fend from people. We can't use push pass. It's the only thing we can't use. We make as many passes up as possible. You do not want to be in that bottom at the end of lap 4, because at the end of 4 we lose 2 drivers. In this case, 1 driver. No, we need 2 drivers because it's a knockout ban. We lose 2 drivers every lap. The end of lap 4, the bottom 2 drivers will be gone until we have our pole position. And trust me, we've seen some fantastic results this season. Mohamed Ramsey back in a pit last week, and he himself a fantastic pole position. Couldn't put it into a race win, but took a fantastic pole position. Dennis Eichenberger then in our Camp to Lounge, the Swiss driver, preparing his tyre. preparing his brakes. His first time at Racing Unleashed, his first competing in this sport. He has got a tricky job of leading the pack away. When the safe car pulls in, he's already started to pack up and get all ready to start the race. And the safety car will pull in. It's a very early pit entry. He pulled into the pit. Dennis Eckenberger will take lead of this race and now drops the throttle to the floor. He is already moves to being made here. Thomas Herzog and his car already look to get past each other. I think Herzog did make the move and Koch coming back to him. No, into turn one. Can't get it done there. Herzog already making races. Not the best exits there for Reyes as well. And there's a car off. How has he gone off at the exit of Tamburello then? Not quite sure who's that. Trailing down the order. Oh no. It's our new driver who patiently has to wait for everybody to come flying through. And there, a bit of a squeeze. Andreas Koch once again as he just squim onto the grass. A driver careful of the rejoin, but for Dennis Eckenberger then he's tumbled down the standings as not quite at the minute. I think it was Michael Weversick wide at the hairpin then through into the right-hander before he come back up. Very tricky part of the section of Imola to get right because you don't want to put the power down early on. There's Michael Weversick again who is around. It's great to see him back in the cockpit. But he's got a lot of work to do to catch the rest of the pack, otherwise that could be his knockout qualifying done pretty early. He's still ahead. Gizarzo's not had the best of starts. He's from 12th to 18th place at the moment, but there's a good gaggle of cars as we come down towards the final corner of Rivazza there. Well, the final corners of Rivazza, a few drivers running wide. You saw Bravo just picked up. There's one very wide at the exit of Rivazza. There is Gizarzo, our pro winner, and to count on the back of Dennis Eckenberger. Drivers side by side, they come to start straight. This would be the place for drivers to use that push to pass. And look at how bunched up it is between drivers 2-3 abreast as they come into Torello then. And this fantastic to see. Good clean racing in this knockout qualifying set at the moment. We're on the second guarded lap. So this will not count for being eliminated. It's the end of lap 4 is the next time round. On with Gianluca Paldano. A few drivers up front to make some moves. They're trying to get past one another there. And cars side by side. Out of hairpin they uphill towards the far left-hander. Just a couple of kicks on the gears down. And you find yourself picking up the full very early. Downhill, double-hander. Tricky to get this one right, because if you get the power too early, you can have a wiggle. And Luke here is the car in front of Luca Palmisano. Really did there, the Italian in with Kemptar Land as well. And look at the field. Very, very tight and close between all these drivers. Two drivers we've not mentioned at the moment. Janik Pletscher and Nico Fahland. Fahland's just past Janik Pletscher, as a matter of fact. They've both backed up past Agustin Torlaschi, who's now behind Borges, into 17th place. And who's happened? Gianluca Palmisano. It's the two championship rivals at the Nico Fahland and Janik Pletscher being half behind Gianluca Palmisano. Thomas Hertz, fastest for the session so far. And drivers side by side battling with each other all around. Here's Walt Groninger then, our older competitors here at Racing Unleashed. It doesn't matter what you are, it's great to see you in the cockpit of the car. Robertson gets up to 7th place. He took in on his fair outing, if you remember, at the Red Bull bound Challenger, just bounced off the curb there. You saw the car just want to slide as it come through Villeneuve. And to hairpin once again, Nico. Oh, now there's a bit of a traffic jam here. Janik Pletscher, I believe, has to go wide to avoid car onto the grass. But a bit of traffic jam as they come through up the hill once again. And there's cars everywhere at the moment. We're all still on the circuit, all between two white lines. They are giving this absolutely everything. One of them is dropping down a few blows. That looked like Adrian Gomez, who's behind Janik Pletscher. Here he is, the cool, calm character himself in his cockpit. Ahead of Adrian Gomez, behind his chip rival of Nico Fahland. He won't mind that too much, though, because he's right on his tail as Nico Fahland then, on back of Luca Palmisano. Here is Tyler Klausch. He's right on the back of Thomas Hertz in half a second. Lose, though, the bottom two drivers this lap. So they cross the line to carry on another lap. We are going to possibly lose a new competitor of Dennis Eckenberger. And as well, oh no, what's happened actually? Walter Groninger dropped onto the back of the pack there. Just as I was saying that, Mohammed Ramsey. So have we lost a new competitor? I believe Walter Groninger and Mohammed Ramsey are the two we are potentially going to lose in this knockout session. Surely crossed the line by now. Mohammed Ramsey will line up in P18 provisionally at the moment, and for Walter Groninger it's going to be 17th place for him, as Dennis Eckenberger then is just 17th, but I am Walter Groninger is going to get to the pits. There he goes, so that gets updated. Just it carries on. He's another lap in him. Come on, Michael, where can we in this one? Middle of the lap though, middle of pack as well as middle of the Nico Fahland still trying to move. There's a car wide, there's a car stopped. It'll come uphill, it's all bunched up. There's cars off everywhere. Absolute carnage. And drivers tried to rejoin while the track was coming, and Nico Fahland, one man didn't get caught up in that, but Janik did seem to. Fahland's gone from 10th to 7th. He's gained 3 places. Andreas Rock Mertz was in that, as to be Borges as well. Pletscher goes to Rock Mertz there then. Thomas Herzog leads from Tyler Klausch legal across the line, but we all this time potentially now going to lose Dennis Eckenberger. Michael Waversick got himself past Andreas Koch as well. So Michael Waversick trying to stay in for another period. In fact, Koch has got himself down into last place. So we'll lose Dennis Eckberger. Every time we think we're losing the new driver from the back of the pack, they've crossed the line. We lose him now. We'll be lining up P15 provision. Andreas Koch will be lining up P16 at the moment. This is all provisional. Let's not forget, end race control will give us our final classification. Marcus Valverde. We've not seen him. We've not mentioned him in this knockout session. No ban for him to quietly up into P5. 2 seconds off back of Overkirk, and there is this. It's a little deflated the cockpit there. It feels that maybe was his own error that cost a spin, and we wasn't able to see him at his best. Agustin Torlaschi up to 12th place on the of Rock Merzel here, both ahead of Gianluca Almizano at the moment. Thomas Herzog is 0.3 of a second clear of Tyler Klausch at this moment in Fabio Schlegel, 3.6 off the at the moment, and he's all right so far. He's just got to stop to close that gap a little bit. Here comes Agustin Torlaschi, looks each way till say up the inside, goes way deep, and Merzel there will not waste grabbing that position back for Agustin Torlaschi. $8 short on that manoeuvre. Nico Fahland to 6th place now. He is charging through the pack, and we are about to lose 2 more drives as there goes Robin Doney, who loses out another place. But it is Michael Waversick who will be crossing the line. P14 provisionally for him. What a shame for Michael Waversick. Gianluca Palno will line up P13 provisionally as well. Right back to the front of the pack towards the top 10. Go now. And this is interesting because it's Thomas Herzog, Tyler Klausch, 0.3 of a second separating that gap. Jump back to Fabio Schlegel, 3.4 seconds. Jump back to Matthias Overkirk, 5.9 seconds. That's got up to 6. He's got Marcus Valverde right on the back of him in 0.3. Nico Fahland, 1.0 behind Valverde. And here's Janik Pletscher on the back of Adrian Gomez and Robin Doney. And you just see him brake early there. You just listen him come through. How patient he is on the throttle. Steady he is on brake through chicane. And down towards Ravazza they come once again. Lap 7. Torlaschi and Merzel. Danger here and collect in front. That's Janik Pletscher. Adrian Gomez come to and Janik Pletscher does not need a second invasion. Take that position. He gained up to 7th place. And for Gomez and Doney there losing out, but we're going to lose Agustin Torlaschi. Last time winner will only be P12 provisionally at the moment, and I believe Rob Merzel will be 11 in this one. Yes, he is. So it is not the knockout session that Rock wanted. Right, we're into the top to Robin Doney and Adrian Gomez. All the two at danger, and it's Madrid, because it's Borgio just in front of him. Nico Fahland has got himself ahead of Overkirk as Valverde, so 4th and for them. Janik Pletscher needs to start making some moves if he's to keep up Nico Fahland. He's a 10th the back of Overkirk at the moment, so can get this one done. Agustin Torlaschi, it's not the smile race win we saw the other week. It's not the end of the day for him because it's P12 provision. Race come a little later on. Who's side by side? It's Janik Pletscher side by side with Overkirk into the cane. Thank you very much, says Janik Pletscher. 6 right there, Nico Fahland. Your championship rival is on the back of you and he's trying to chase you down now in this knockout session. This is doing a stellar job up front. Thomas Herzog, 2 attempts clear Tyler Klausch at the moment, and he's charging his Tyler Klausch quicker. Personal best for him on the last lap. Within a 10th now to get no push past use whatsoever in this session as we are about to lose 2 more drivers, and it looked me the way of Robin Doney, who we're going to lose, and Matthias Overkirk and 9th respectively. What our 2 drive from Com. Both our drivers in, I'm sorry, as I look at my list. Tyler Klausch right on the back of Thomas here. They come out the head. Uphill. There is Matthias Overkirk. Having a bit of a conversation probably with Doney there. And Klausch trying to attack Herzog. Herzog defending from Tyler Klausch. Janik versus Campbell here. And Klausch looking to put the pressure. Thomas Herzog just trying to defend the sideline before coming across, which he's entitled to do in the braking zone. Wow, Tyler Klausch got close to the back of Herzog there on the braking, on the exit of the machine. And Tyler Klausch looks a confident man at the moment. Into Ravazza they come now, and Tyler Klausch just cannot seem to find a way for the moment. Would this be the strategy to use push to pass? To get on the inside, he's had a big wiggle here as Tyler Klausch on the exit of Ravazza, and that's Jeff Thomas Herzog. A little bit of breathing space here, and that means that he just gets extra lap where he focuses and regains composure. For Thomas Herzog then, as the drives come toward the line, it's going to be Adrian Gomez, who looks like he's going to bow out in P8 at the moment. Provisionally, this is so far. And it's going to be Borgio P7 overall as well. So we move to Pletscher and Nico Fahland, the two drivers at risk. Nico Fahland 1 point behind Mark Valverde. Pletscher 1 point behind Nico Fahland in the middle center of the circuit. Tyler Klaus back within the tenths of Thomas Hertz. And Thomas just having to start to think these defensive lines a little bit. Once again, a bit of a lock-up. Go a little deep for the double right-handed. And as they come in, Klaus now has a brilliant opportunity. Herzog parks his car in the middle of the road and brilliantly parks in the apex, meaning that Klaus just has to wait to get the throttle down. And that is fantastic drive there from Thomas Herzog. He absolutely waited to get the power down the exit to the chicane. Parked on the apex, absolute peach. And Thomas Hertz still has that 3/10 of a second gap. Fabio Schlieg 4.8 behind Klaus, and Valverde 2.7 off the back of him. So it looks like we're going to lose our championship lead at the moment. And it looks Janik Pletscher is going to be P6 with Nico Fahland P5. Klaus looks to the outside into Morello. Can't get the move on once again, but he is look everywhere. He's Tyler Klaus on Thomas Herzog. And there is Pletscher does his personal best lap on his final lap, but it is only 6 provision for him and P5 for Nico Fahland provisional. Behind these two, Valverde 2 points for Schlegel and 4.4 off the back. Tyler Klaus and Thomas Herzog. Great scrap though for this pole position battle. High five there for Nico Fahland. Joel done for Nico. To be fair, he's come back from 17th for P5. So he's 12 players in this knockout qualifying session. You see Thomas Herzog again just defending and covering that inside line as they come into the right-hander. This is where Thomas has been putting the car on the apex, getting it pretty much stopped before putting the power down and getting himself away. Look, he does it once again. And so he's just got to before he can put his foot down. And Tyler Klaus, not Mertzel, Tyler Klaus, really now having to move on here because this will be the final lap of this knockout qualifying session. Herzog has defended like an Avenger. We called him Iron Man, me and Fabio the week in rush hour. Well, this is fantastic from Thomas Herzog. We are, though, going to lose Marcus Valverde, who will be P3 provisionally. Here comes Klaus to the outside line of Morello, but only a look. It's only a look. It's nothing more than that. He has a bit of wiggle on exit. Still closes that just a tenth or two. So Valverde P3, still P4, apologies, as them two are done. And he looks a happy man, looks pleased with P4. Fabio Schlegel there. Tyler Klaus, one last chance on the back of Thomas Herzog here. Can he get this move done? As we see Valverde just debriefing with his colleagues at Madrid. And it's Klaus versus Thomas Herzog as they come down towards double right-hander. He's 1 or 2 more opportunities and Tyler Klaus just that he's not going to get this one done. It's a little bit too far now. He had a bit of a wiggle through the 2 right-handers here towards the chicane. We've seen Herzog park it on the apex. Klaus has got to be patient and wait. Gets the chicane horribly wrong. Too much curb on exit. And now Herzog just get rid to right. And it will be a P1 for you in the knockout qualifying session. Absolutely fantastic from Thomas Herzog, the man who's been so close to points all season. Going to be your provisional pole setter. Thomas Herzog, P1 as he crosses the line, but this is all provisional. Tyler Klaus can place. Great stuff from the boys there. Absolute fantastic knockout session. We saw move from all around. And there's a big applause and a big punch of the air for Thomas Herzog. He looks a happy man. Can't believe it. Stunned with that one. Well, drove an absolute fantastic knockout qualifying session, did Thomas Herzog. And he'll be delighted with that. He's came so close to points all season, and he'll be delighted with that. I'm sure myself and Fabio will be looking into this in rush hour a little bit more as well. He's delighted with himself. I don't know if he's delighted or he can't believe it. Either way, fantastic job from Thomas Herzog to get this one done because he really kept up that pressure. He didn't slip up for 1 minute until the very end when it really, really mattered. So that is a provisional result. Thomas Herzog P1 with Tyler Klaus P2 will bring you the full classification of the grid. The minute race control look at everything. And they'll already be investigating everything as it goes. They'll be making sure that the results are all correct. Thomas Herzog, look at the fans in the background. That is great to see. The support there for Thomas Herzog. Drivers, colleagues, friends, family. And he looks one delighted man, a little surprised. Round of applause there from Lounge in Kemptall then to give to Thomas Herzog. I saw nothing wrong with that myself, and Fabio Vettiger will go through rush hour, then we'll go through some replays with another special guest this week. Different special guest, Racer League driver, Racer League winner. Any guesses who it is? Well, we'll see a little later on. We'll go through all the replays, look at some of the action, look at some of the drama. I saw nothing wrong with that from Thomas Herzog. Here's Janik Pletscher and Racing Unleashed colleagues, Rock Mertzel, family and friends, look, all high-fiving Thomas. He looks very delighted. He looks very happy with himself. So close to the points all season. He's been that close all season to a point and has just missed out every race. And for P1, Can he do what other drivers have done past though and lead from the start and get their race win? We'll wait and see. We can now speak though with Thomas Herzog. And Thomas, that is a knockout provisional pole position. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Matthew. I'm so proud. I'm so happy to I reached that first position. I reached a pole position. I can't believe it. So I don't know what to say. Sorry.
No, it was a fantastic session for yourself. Really well defended for them last couple of laps.
Yes, it was hard, but I think it was Tyler Klausch, so he pushed me a lot to the max. So I gave it all. So I reached it. So yeah, I'm super happy.
Is it more happiness or a bit of shock that you're feeling right now? Because you look very happy, but at the same time, very surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised, especially after I had tricky 3 weeks with my health. So I'm super proud I'm happy, I'm proud, I'm everything now for the moment. So I don't know what to say. It's hard. It's hard. I was 3 weeks before. I was in an emergency car. So now I'm here. I give my everything to reach that pole position. So I'm super proud. Yeah.
Well, it's great to see that you're feeling well again and that you're back in the cockpit. Provisional pole position for yourself. The race coming up a little later on. Any thoughts on what you can do in that race?
The same like in the knockout. So I go for everything. My goal today is to reach some goals. So some points. That's my main goal. So since the start of the season, I have 0 points. I have a lot of troubles in the past races, so I would be happy to gain some few points today.
Well, Thomas, we can tell you that you are confirmed as P1. That is definite. You are pole position for the race. Very, very much a congratulations, Thomas. Iron Man himself
thank you, Matthew.
On pole position.
Yeah, thank you. It's so special at this track. I have my first F1 experience in 1999, so I am today on pole position. That's big. That's really big.
Well, congratulations, Thomas. Best luck in the race a little later on.
Thank you.
Fantastic to see you take pole position. So that then is pole position confirmed for Thomas. He will be starting from the front of the grid, but he's got it different this time around. It will not be a rolling start, standing start in the race. He's got to not mess up that first bit because it's a long run down to turn one, and if he can get it right, he can keep hold of his lead, he can keep that defense drive going as we've seen in that knockout session. Fantastic to see. We'll bring you to the results once again. The prize money though for Thomas is he's looking at that 750 Swiss francs for today's race win. 500 for second place, 300 for a top three, all the way down to 30 for the top 10. 3,000 Swiss francs in your back kit for the championship season, as well as the trophy that you saw over on the other side of the desk a little earlier on. 3,000 Swiss francs for the season, all the way down to 100 as we get ready to go into shower. And apart from the racing, it's everybody's favourite part of the show. It's rush hour, because this man is on screen joining me now. And Fabio, welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
We well?
Very well, yeah. A bit stressful, you know, as I have a lot of work to do upstairs, but I'm very happy to be here with you and with our guest
and Iron Man. He was our guest the other week, pole position.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it, but I'm very happy for him, especially what he said. He had some health issues, was in an emergency car 3 weeks ago or so super happy for him. Yeah. Also super happy for the other guys who did well. There was a bit of a mess up in the beginning, but super racing in the end.
Super racing, and then there was a lot of cars close together, and was that the dip of the back of the grid with the faster drivers compared to the front of the grid? It just all seemed to get a little bunched up in the middle towards the first couple of laps.
Yeah, it seemed like last week, basically last challenge with Sanchez, somehow the fast drivers managed to go through all the crashes. Yeah. So we saw Pletscher already P6, Fahland I think P5 it was, Valverde P4 maybe?
P3.
P3. Yeah, so this is going to be a hell of a race.
A hell of a race, and for Valverde, we saw a hell of a drive last time out from the back of the grid to second. Him starting P3 kind of seems to be like he's getting his championship back on the rails a little bit here and getting it in the direction he wants it to go.
Yeah, fortunately for him, because he had a very bad race in Silverstone in the beginning of the season. I guess maybe due to all of these experiences that he had throughout the season now, maybe he managed to calm himself down a bit. We don't go for the move immediately, just wait a bit and just pass everyone basically and get some points.
Two drivers yet to make an appearance today at the moment is Roberto Miguez and Mario Stanek. They start from the back of the grid with their knockout bands. And just touching on knockout bands, we only see 2 this weekend. Are we starting to see the penalty points make drivers think about what they're doing now?
I hope so. I mean, initially that was the goal, right? I mean, because we don't have any damage in place at the moment. We wanted to bring something in that would maybe calm drivers down. Maybe we can actually give them a little lesson. If you're going for the move and it's your fault, you get penalized for that. Not only for destroying someone's race or your race, but with penalty points. And if you have too many on your scorecard, you have that ban for the knockout or at one point even the week.
So 2 drivers, Roberto Miguez, Mario Stanek. What can they do in the race? From what you've seen of them so far this season, what are they? Can they score points? We saw with Valverde it's possible.
I mean, never give up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal, right? I mean, every driver has to be on the grid, believing that they can score points. Obviously, Imola is a bit tricky with overtaking, but they do have some push-to-pass activations in place for the race. It's going to be difficult now because Imola is not known for a lot of overtaking, so
we will see indeed. Let's take a look though at our track preview of today's circuit of Imola. And a fantastic layout circuit it is. Imola is our location this weekend. The Autodromo Enzo Ferrari, 0.9 kilometres in length, 12-handers, 9 right turns, 470 meters from start to turn 1. A few tracks that drives counter-clockwise, Fabio.
Yeah, definitely. A bit of a different challenge. As I said, most of the tracks are clockwise. This one's anti-clockwise, but it's a super track. It's fast, it's old school, as you know. Super exciting to drive there.
And it's a long run all the way down to Mugello. You've got to get it right, brakes, because it's a 3-parter into turns 1, 2 and 3. You don't want to mess it up wrong.
Yes, definitely. And also if drivers are using push to pass already at start.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe some overtaking towards 1. And after that, it's like following our cars and then maybe, get an exit out of the last corner, slipstreaming, push to passing with a bit more speed.
Up the hill then towards the left, there is at another place to use your push to pass. You come down towards the right, and a very tricky section of the drivers because the first one comes up quick. You have to slow it down quickly. It's the exit of this corner, Aqua Mineral. Yeah, we've ruined that.
Aqua Mineral.
Yeah, you don't want to get a bad exit out there.
No, definitely not, because now you're basically you're into a bad situation, because drivers get you into chicane or they get into here Rivazza and then it's all over.
And it's important to get out of Rivazza very clean. You don't have the gravel on the outside because a long start straight for that push to pass as the drivers come across the line. And that's your track preview of Imola for today. And what a circuit Imola is. It's one of the older circuits, or not a real old school circuit, that is fantastic to see.
Yeah, definitely. I'm super excited that we are at Imola because F1 wasn't there, unfortunately, because of the flood, right? So it's a good track. It's meant for good racing, and I'm super excited for what's going to happen in the race.
No pressure on the Challenger League or Racer League drivers, but there was no F1, so you guys are putting the show on this year at Imola. So no pressure on you boys around this Imola circuit. We're going to be looking at a few replays, as always. Maybe some incidents, maybe some other bits throughout this hour special. And we know you guys love this Rush Hour special because Fabio is the one that makes the show even better when he comes down and joins me at the break. We've got a special guest coming up in a few moments as well, one of our Racer League winners this season. It'd be great to have another driver's opinions on some of the incidents that we saw. We saw Thomas Herzog, we saw Janik Pletscher do this. So it'd be great to see another driver's perspective. So then, Formula BMW, it was for Ciro Zambra a few days ago. He got the chance to drive in one of the Formula BMW cars, and it was fantastic to see. We are going to bring you some shot of this in just a few moments. Here he is, look. It was a great opportunity for the young man to step into a Formula BMW car and have a real drive around the circuit.
Yeah, look at him. Cool as a cucumber there. Not nervous at all. Yeah, super happy for Ciro as the Challenge champion of last year. He was actually taking part in a sim racing competition, which he won, I think, by 10s or something. So very slim margins there. And he managed to win this ride here, and he absolutely loved it.
Absolutely loved it. And like you say, as cool as a cucumber, I'd be absolutely over the moon with that. I'd be grinning from ear to ear. And we have another special video, speaking of Formula BMWs. 20 years ago, a certain Formula One world champion was in one of the Formula BMWs round the Hockenheim here. Sebastian Vettel. Not sure people have heard of him, but a four-time world champion in Formula One. He drove the Formula BMW, and a little fact I found out today was the smiley faces on his car was a sticker for every time he won a race. There were 17 races, and he had 17 stickers. Shows how dominant and how good he was in his early days, not just in his Formula One days. We can, though, head to Kempthal, I believe, now, where James Walker is speaking with Ciro Zambra after he got the chance to drive his Formula BMW.
So here we are with Ciro himself. Congratulations. I mean, what an honour to be able to transfer your skills from seat time in the Racing Unleashed sim to the real world in a single seater. What was that like?
Yeah, it was amazing to drive such a car for the first time. I mean, I never driven a car before, and it was just amazing, the speed and the acceleration in the car. I will never forget that. A dream came true for me, really.
So everyone down the lens will definitely be interested. The number one question, what are the similarities, what learnings have you been able to take from the Racing Unleashed simulator that transferred into the real world?
Yeah, what I learned from it is steering. Steering is quite similar to the real life. It's really, really good. But the G-forces, that's something that's different in real life, and it's much more. It's just amazing all in all, and I think the simulator really helped me a lot.
Very cool. So what was it like then if you were to, obviously you are one of the fastest guys in this series, and it's been fantastic that you're our Challenger champion, which has been incredible. What was it like physical point of view? Would think if you're going to get futures time, are you going to be doing neck training, physical fitness training?
Yeah, I think neck training helps a lot, of course, because after the session my neck was hurting really. It was physically really hard, but I mean it worked at the end, and that's most important.
Fantastic. Listen, it's a pleasure to see you again. Massive congratulations. Keep it on Ciro. This guy's going to go far. He's fantastic talent behind the wheel in the sim. He's clearly a fantastic now talent in the real world, and I look forward to seeing you on a soon.
Indeed, we do. And he had a bigger smile there than what he did when he was actually out on the track.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was such a big opportunity for Ciro, and that Formula BMW car is actually in the lounge Kempthal at the moment for people to look at. Yeah, it's just the first step, and it's something that we at Racing Unleashed, we really want to do with the drive. We want to showcase that we can transfer our drivers into the real racing, and maybe this guy can do it also.
Yeah, and speaking of this, race winner, back at race 2 of the season, or your first race of the season, should I say. Christoph Holst joins us in the studio here, and welcome. What do you think, first of all?
I mean, it's an amazing studio. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Pleasure. Anytime. We're going to take a look at a few replays in a few moments, but what real world driving have you experienced?
Not so much at all. I mean, like any normal person, really. Did some go-karting, maybe, hobby, but I think... I think my ambitions are a little bit different when it comes to that. It's great to have the young guys like Ciro and maybe hopefully some other people in the future get these kind of opportunities to test some real life cars, because I think that's their ambition, and that's really, really cool to see.
And it's brilliant to see. We had the Rising Star that Racing Unleashed donated their simulators to put on last year. We saw Deegan Fairclough win that for the boys category. He's now racing in the British F4, and he's been very competitive in that. The same sort of opportunity here for Ciro. He's got the chance, because of Racing Unleashed and the simulators he's got, to put himself in a real cockpit and in a real life situation.
Yeah, I mean, It can't get any better than that, right? I mean, we had it with the Rocket F4 event there. We have 0 now. We also had some other guys driving a Formula car. So who knows where we go in the future?
Yeah.
I mean, as we just heard from Francisco, our founder, we want to bring drivers into those categories. We want to showcase that it's possible, but also to tell them or basically show them that also a career in sim racing is an alternative. You know? It doesn't always have to go into real racing, but sim racing is growing, esports is growing, as we know, so maybe Racing Unleashed could be a job for the future.
When we say esports is growing, we see with games like R-Factor 2, sims like R-Factor 2, we see the virtual Le Mans, a big hit. You've got drivers like Max Verstappen who compete in that. So like Fabio's just said there, Christoph, it's not just the real racing, but that you can get some serious money, not just money, but talent and stuff from the sim.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's basically where I come from as well. Like even before Racing Unleashed, been briefly F1 esports as well. And I mean, the scene is growing, getting bigger and bigger year by year. People get more personal about what they're doing on and off the track. Yeah. And that's great to see. It's a lot more immersive as well nowadays. So yeah, I mean, great to see.
We speak sim racing drivers. Jimmy Broadbent, who was at Ascari not long ago, did a video which had the Racing Unleashed Ferrari Challenge car in the background, and he's a driver himself, very good following, very talented driver who also now has a real racing career. Praga Cup he's done for 2 years in a row, champion of Praga Cup, which is fantastic to see. It just shows that whether you're racing at home, whether you're here in these simulators, there is these options out there for people.
Yeah, and Jimmy perfectly embodies what we at Racing Unleashed want to achieve, right? That it is possible to make that transfer from digital to analog racing. Let's see how it goes for other drivers. I'm sure we'll see some drivers up there in Formula Leagues or maybe also sports cars. But yeah, we'll see.
Francisco said himself, didn't he? Whether it's Formula, F4, F3, F2, F1, GTs. There's all sorts of categories out there these drivers can compete in and try and challenge themselves in. If you had to pick a series you'd enter, Christoph, what would be your favoured?
I mean, when I'm driving, I really, really like the endurance racing part where you also race in a team together. I think that's, from a driver perspective, that's the series I like the most.
We're going to take a little look at your race win here, back from race 2. Hopefully, this was look at your reaction. Absolute fantastic.
That was actually 2021 in Mugello, and this was
this year.
This year,
Red Bull Ring.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2 race wins. Which felt better?
It's very difficult to say. I think Mugello was very, very special because it was the first one in a while since I came back. Yeah. And it was also special because we had a 1-2 with Dominic there. And I think this one here, which I had was a few weeks back, was just different in a way because I obviously didn't compete in the first round. I had pole position. It was basically mine to lose in that sense. Yeah. So there was a kind of different pressure game and maybe a little bit more relief than maybe happiness or excitement about the win. So, yeah, different.
He's playing it down here. No? It's always hard to win a race, Racing Unleashed, especially the Race League. But, I mean, obviously, you didn't spend that much time in the simulator, but you still managed, to keep the drivers behind who were very quick behind you, and in the end, you got the wins. Congrats to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Many more race wins this year?
Difficult, but I never rule it out, obviously. I'm trying my best, and I mean, why not? Right.
Exactly. Why not? So that is Christoph Holstein with his 2 race wins, 2021 and 2023. Can he add more to his list? Right, now we're going to be bringing you some replays of this knockout qualifying session, and we're going to get to see what incidents there was or what success there was for drivers. Fabio, this is the part of the show in which me and you sort of become stewards in a way. This is Walter Troninger then, lap 1 at the first corner, so Tamburello. Christoph, give us your opinions on this.
So both into turn 1 side by side. Yeah, it's very difficult, lap 1. I mean, Walter could have maybe missed a little bit the apex, then there was a little less of a gap. Difficult to judge, really. It happened so quickly.
We get here from a bit of a higher point, and Fabio, like Christoph says there, just misses his apex a little bit. Plenty of room given to him.
Yeah, there's enough room actually. Maybe at hindsight, Borja could have also like maybe turned in a little later, probably. But as Christoph said, rightly so, maybe missed a bit the apex there, Walter. Not sure how the race control is going to judge that, but I'm lucky that I'm down here and don't to decide that.
We say this every time we do show. We're lucky we're stood behind here, not sat on race control's pit wall upstairs to do the decisions. Walter Troninger then, after that incident, come across the line P17. So potential grid penalty coming as well, and as well, it being a lap 1 incident. If he does get a penalty, it's double the penalty points.
Yeah, so I think Walter is on the penalty roster okay at the moment, if I have it correctly in my mind. But yeah, still, lap 1, you never want to be in an incident because it's double point, set. So not sure. Do you have a contact in lap 1 and had some penalty points on your roster? Or?
So far not, no.
Okay, but how do you approach that? Like, you're a bit more careful because you know you have double point stake.
Yeah, I think, my approach doesn't change much whether I have penalty points or not. I would say I always try to stay out of trouble in lap 1 and then go for the moves later on. Sometimes that backfires, sometimes it goes very well. It in general can be more out of incidents and makes me more calm on lap 1 most of the time. Yeah,
we're going to take a look in a moment. Mohamed Ramsey on Waversick. We're going to look at the penalty roster first, though. We're going to bring this up just to show you viewers at home who is on the penalties here in the Challenger today. And as we already know, Roberto Miguez and Rio Stanek on knockout qualifying bans, meaning they have 20 plus points. We've got Robin Doney, 17, so he really needs a clean weekend this weekend. And Kuznel, he's not here, so no chance of getting a ban. Thomas Sog,
he's fine.
He's fine at the moment. We've got a big race coming up later on. Fabio Schlegel's on 10, Janik Pletscher's on 7, Matthias Overkirk on 5, Tyler Klaus 5, and Bez Mertezi on 5 as well. So for Robin, we've seen him have a few incidents over the last couple of races. He's really got to be careful, not just in knockout, but in the race as well.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised last time around that he didn't get a ban because he was involved in some sketchy moves, etc. He managed to have a clean race because he already had 20 points off a knockout. And because of the clean race, he managed to be down at 17.
Well, hopefully he's had a clean knockout and he can lose a few more. Let's take a look, though, at the replay of Mohamed Ramsey, Michael Waversick then. So on board with Mohamed Ramsey, he's got himself... Ooh. I wonder if we can look at that one back and if we can maybe a little slower. If we could slow that one down. Did Ramsey come back across Waversick here? Let's take a look. Christoph, in this situation, if you're the driver of Waversick sort of into the outside, it looks like he's slow to wait. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if he was aware the car was on his left side, but if he was aware, obviously important that you stick to a line and not move over, especially when the braking zone is coming up. Yeah, again, very, very difficult. Just these margins which can avoid contact or make such a huge create such an incident, basically.
Now, the one thing that race control have at their disposal is every camera angle. They're the first they have to look at on this incident, did Wavers turn left? Did Ramsey turn right? If they've both stayed straight, it's a coming together, hard to rule it. If one of them's turned in the other driver slightly, The
drivers are giving me a really hard time today because you saw that before the first one. I'm not really sure who was it. Now this one, like Christoph said, if you know there is a car behind you, maybe don't go to the inside of the track. But in this case, I believe he wasn't aware, because maybe he wasn't looking at that.
Yeah.
And then probably also Ramsey, there was enough space on the left, and he had more speed, a lot more speed. Maybe not worth the risk, really pull in and then go back to the racing line, basically, and then have a good exit.
Race control going to be looking at the steering inputs to see whether Ramsey did Ramsey think he was clear to come back onto the racing line? Like you say, he had room up the inside to carry the speed through the corner. So, I tell you, every week, I don't want to be in their position, ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Because they have the hardest job here.
Definitely, and I believe not every driver likes them. They're super nice guys, we have to say that, but it's really not an easy job that they have to do.
Here is Robin Doney and Andreas Koch towards Rivazza. Aye, yeah.
Two gravel in the front as well.
Rivazza is one of his corners, which is just very, very scary. It's downhill, very tricky braking zone. When you want to go inside, you really have to nail your braking spot. Yeah. And I think we talked about before that before the stream started that we might see some cars going side and ending up in the ground, and it happened, unfortunately.
There's 2 off in front. The door was never open for the move there.
No, never. There was a day late, $1 short, as Martin Brundle would say.
Yes.
This one was definitely the fault of Koch.
Yeah. Stewards will see that one that way.
I hope so. I mean, if I say something now and they overturn my my opinion, obviously then I have to leave that studio and keep Christoph here.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, we're going to put you under pressure moment, so we're going to get a prediction for a race win every week. Do this.
Yeah. We have to bet, actually.
Yeah. Our invisible jar of invisible money that no one will win at the end of the season.
Maybe they do.
How many have you won so far? Got one right.
I have one.
Yeah. Christoph.
I don't remember that.
I want to know which we got right, to be honest.
I have to check back.
Okay.
Right, while we see if we've got any more replays, we have Mohamed Ramsey, lap 2 on Torlaschi then.
Again, then involved.
Yeah, Munich, Madrid. So Torlaschi, the car in front. Here's Mohamed Ramsey.
Too late.
Yeah.
Bump on the back, too late on the brakes. I think it's a clear case, that one.
He's just bumped him off, Christoph. I mean, he has just pressed the brake pedal too late.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you're a car behind, especially since we now see we have a lot of cars in front. There's going to be some checkup. You have to be aware that the driver in front of you might take a little earlier. Yeah. So, unfortunate misjudgment from Ramsey.
Not many cars in front of Torlaschi as well there. He could have braked early in case any had an incident in front of him. So Ramsey has to be aware of that situation as well, as Christoph says. Maybe brake a little earlier.
The problem there was that all the cars were actually driving in one line.
Yeah.
He could have done it offline, maybe, and then see whether he could pass the car in front, or maybe just have a little bit more space. Basically reducing the risk of exactly that incident in the end.
Another thing to point: he was in the slipstream, so he's carrying that bit extra speed. You're making points a little earlier because of the extra speed you're gaining. So just one for Ramsey that he's just got to maybe not look to do again in the race, because that's a tricky part of the circuit where drivers really go from being super fast to super slow. Yeah. It's going to catch him out.
Probably also a learning curve for Ramsey there. I'm definitely sure he won't do it again in the future. But yeah, unfortunately for him, this is going to be a penalty.
Right.
Quite sure that.
Robin Dunn, 17 penalty points. Valverde in front.
Maybe he's just showing something in the front and it's not. Who knows?
Take a look. 17 penalty points. Race call haven't said anything yet. Oh dear.
I mean, where can he go here? I mean, he's the car in the back.
Yeah.
And the car in the front is obviously having a wider line and then having like a second X here.
Well, let's take a look from the drop-down view. Christoph, give us your opinions on this one as well.
Is that actually Valverde? Because he ended up P3 in the beginning. In the end, that would have been amazing.
He turns around, maybe?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's so difficult because, once Robin commits to the corner, then obviously the car in front cuts back in. Again, difficult.
Yeah.
And I'm always of the opinion the car that is behind has to adjust for some kind of movement from the car in front.
And I think what the guys are checking out at race control is Robin actually hit the brakes.
Yeah.
And if not, it's definitely his fault.
The thing as well is with hairpin corners like that, you'll find drivers miss the first part of the apex to swing it in for the second part. Donny stayed tight throughout. He's got to be aware, surely, that drivers are possibly going to take the wide line in and tighter line out.
Yeah, obviously, he had a big gap, before that turn, actually. So, yeah, maybe just not expecting that the car in front would take such a long line or such a wide line, basically. And, I mean, in the end, obviously, you're the car behind. You need to take avoiding action to not make any contact with the car in front. That is so far away. But, yeah. That is something for the race control again.
Was actually lucky that he span him around, because if he hit him up the rear flush, it might have put him into the other car front and caused all three of them to have a moment.
Oh, I mean, that would have been worst case scenario for Robin there. Thankfully, it didn't happen, but I'm sorry for the car in front. I don't know who it was earlier. So,
Christoph pointed out Valverde finished third in that pre-qualifying, so that's a very good drive for him. Here is Mohamed Ramsey. Oh, he's been involved in a few. And Troninger.
But you see, he didn't do that mistake that he did before. Now what happened here?
Replay's not over, Fabio. Replay's still going. He's got the outside as they come down towards the couple of corners. Going to try and cut underneath. Yeah,
Yeah, obviously.
Well avoided.
Obviously, as Troninger was actually on the defending line, so he naturally has a slower apex speed there. Ramsey wanted to do the switcheroo, maybe a little bit too late, tuck on the back, and Troninger's around.
Looks like Troninger absolutely parked it on the apex there, Stoff. He got the car stop to get it turned in, and Ramsey just catches him out.
Yeah, to go for the switchback didn't work. Not the best timing. I think Troninger couldn't have done anything differently. So I would say it's on Ramsey a little bit, this one.
And then the worst thing for Ramsey there is he runs wide at the final corner and loses even more places. That put him down in P18 provisionally. Penalties coming his way.
Yeah, you saw he wasn't happy. Saw that on the onboard when he got knocked out. He wasn't happy at all. I'm 100% sure that was a bad session. Because we know Ramsey is a very good driver. He has the quality. Yeah. Just wasn't the event for him today. But who knows? Maybe he can recover in the race.
Well, we saw last week, didn't we, at Mugello, we had a better event. Today, a bit of a tighter circuit through the corners. He's just been caught out a little.
I mean, drivers are just eager to get going, and if you're faster than the guys in the front, you just want to go by them very quickly so that you don't lose the train in the front. You know, as we saw with Klaus, Valverde, Pletscher, and who else was there? Fahland, exactly. Yeah. Because Ramsey knows he has the speed. He's on the level with those guys, and fortunately for him today wasn't his event.
It wasn't his event. He got the race to redeem himself coming up. Here is Palmisano on an unsafe rejoin. 4-place penalty, we've just been told, for Palmisano. So let's take a look at this. Oh,
I think I've seen this one on stream.
Oh, which one is blue car? Is not the dark blue one? Is Palmisano? Yes.
So he gets bumped off at the beginning, and then comes straight back on in front of a bunch of cars.
Yeah, I'd like to see that again, actually, because that's Koch.
It's Koch that gives him the tap up the rear. So into the right-hander. So
avoid.
I had a slide under as well.
There's another car off. That might have been Michael Leversick early on that had a moment. And then
here he comes.
Palmisano straight into the side of Koch. Palmisano comes off worse with that. He spins around himself, but gives himself. So he crossed the line P13, 4-place penalty, drops him 17th place. Before other penalties are obviously taken into account. Let's see the onboard, his rejoin here. So he comes through the right-hander. Koch behind has had a big slide. There's the tap. And Christoph, you've just got to wait a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, it makes it very difficult for him because obviously there's the gravel trap on the left-hand side, and then he obviously doesn't know if someone is on the right-hand side. Yeah. But when you're off track, you need to maybe need a little more careful. But it's difficult.
It looked like, I think it was Leversick who had the spin. Walk sort of on the circuit after he'd had his moment. Would that have distracted him? Possibly from he sees a car stationary?
Not necessarily, because he just came back on the track, just going full throttle, I guess. Bumped into Koch, and then he actually spun. So, you need to be a bit more careful there. I mean, you and I know as drivers, or as former driver, that it's if you do mistakes, if you're off track, you just want to get on with it. And you're angry with yourself, maybe with your opponent, etc. It's not easy to be calm in those situations, and this was exactly such a moment. But it's also, so much is going on. As you said, a car was actually spinning. Then you had a car in the back. Maybe for Luca a bit too much.
Koch versus Merzel here then. And it's a 4-place grid penalty, Andreas Koch, in this one. So he himself gets a 4-place grid penalty. So I assume that's on his outside and just squeeze him. I think actually closes the door on another driver.
Is that Pletscher, actually? Because it's a blue car in Kemptal.
It could be. I mean, had a battle at some point, and it might have been that. It is.
Janik Pletscher. Good. That's a great call. That is a great call, Janik Pletscher. This is on board with Janik Pletscher. So he'll rock to the outside, get squeezed, put onto the grass, he'll get out of the throttle. Janik now.
Yeah.
Is he far enough alongside warrant the inside line?
Probably not.
It was almost. It was close wheel to wheel.
Yeah, it was almost. But I mean, this is just it's milliseconds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as Christoph said, it's very hard to look around in the cockpit. You don't really see where the car is, and this is an example here where maybe who was it? Koch didn't really see. Obviously,
Didn't rock either.
maybe he didn't even see Rob there, but yeah, he wasn't expecting him there. Janik just maybe a bit too eager there as well, because this could hand him some grip penalties here. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, again, the final two corners, I think it's a very characteristic incident there.
We've seen more incidents, final two corners or the double-hander coming up the hill than we have anywhere else on the circuit at the moment. I just want to get your opinion. We're going to get one more replay through first. Donny and, I missed the other name through my ear there, two-place grid penalty for the both of us. Donny. It's at Gomez, we've just been told. Okay. So in Gomez and Donny. This is why Gomez has got his penalty, but that gives Donny the knockout ban at the moment.
I mean, if this is a penalty, but he had so many incidents.
Ravazza as well,
right?
again.
Again.
Yeah. And that's where Janik gets through, just up the inside. Too late on the brakes, didn't make the apex, push the other car off. Christoph. Right, so just be told in our ear that Robin Donny has 4 places for grid penalties. That is 10 penalty points?
It's over, basically. So he will have a knockout ban for next one. Yeah,
that puts him on to 27.
Yeah.
Right. What could be on, he could get to 40 here.
I mean, it doesn't matter if he gets to 40 here. Yeah, because at the end we just say, okay, once he has reached 20 penalty points, it's a knockout ban, and then after we reset to 0, once he has 20 penalty points, again, it's a weekend ban. But this one goes down as a knockout ban for Robin, unfortunately.
Michael Wavers, 4-place grid penalty as well to his name, and a knockout ban for him.
On how many knockout penalty points was he then, Wavers?
He's only done the first race of the season because he's missed the last 2.
Yeah.
We're going
would be nice to see that, actually. Yeah, he had 10 penalty points, right?
What I want to ask you both, though, here, as we see the penalty loss come up, do you think drivers are more eager in the knockout session? Robin Donny will get a penalty, though.
I would say so, because that's not been my experience so far from the first few rounds of the season. I think it's also got to do a lot of this track. This track is very, very difficult, especially going side by side. There's so many key corners, especially Vatsa. We've seen so many incidents there. I wouldn't say in particular that the knockout produces more incidents than the race per se.
Maybe not in the challenge, maybe not in the race league, but Challenger League. We've seen so many knockout bans recently. Yeah, maybe they all need to get a knock ban before they calm down a little bit, because we've seen it worked. So with all the guys who were actually banned for a session, they didn't get any other penalties so far.
We just told in our ears that Wavesick, a 6-place grid penalty, has just been given another 2 places. Koch has got a 4-place grid penalty. So was Troninger then, 4 places for himself as well.
So it's 6 places for Wavesick. That's 15 points already on the roster. So it could be up for a not ban then. So you need to have a clean race.
We don't want this. Come on, come on, Michael. In terms of this knockout qualifying session today, though, with drivers having to fight bottom 2 places, like you've just said, we're seeing more incidents in Challenger League. Do drivers need to calm down more? Because we're seeing many incidents in the races. We're seeing more in the knockout qualifying. Do drivers in Challenger League knockout qualifying just need to calm down a little bit? Yes, you can get eliminated, but your day's not over.
Yeah, and have to be careful, because those guys are all listening what we're saying here. Yeah, I don't know what it is at the moment. Sometimes, adrenaline is high. You just want to get on with it. Once the lights are out, you're a different person. You're not the person you used to know, basically. Chris knows that. Also when you have some issue with the simulator, right? Yeah, it's just game on. And the drivers race hard. They want to race. Sometimes they, misjudge braking point, misjudge the situation. And things can happen. I mean, normal.
And this is fantastic, isn't it? Just the atmosphere in Kemptol. Look at Janik Pletscher, number 4 on the back of his shirt there. Stole my number.
Big Sebastian Vettel fan, actually. That's why there is 5 on the shirt. Yeah.
Great to see this atmosphere, though, at the racing lab.
Yeah, definitely. It's something we want to do more often now, invite people, make a big event out of it, as we should, because the drivers, they
deserve it.
They deserve the attention and deserve people watching in. Maybe also get some friends in and try as well. It's awesome to see, especially as we saw with Thomas. Everyone is a big fan of his. He's a very, very nice guy. Iron Man, we said, right? And super happy he's there.
We need to get the Christoph Holstein fan club going.
Yeah, where's your fan club?
Well, I'll join the Thomas Herzog fan.
You're one of the main gangs there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, especially today.
On Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one will you be actually?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't really know, to be honest.
Yeah, choose one, Spider-Man or
Probably Hulk.
The Hulk?
Yeah.
Okay, not too bad.
Just because I'm big. I'm not athletic like these other guys. I've got no muscle. Where's the muscles? Look at,
Still time.
Athletes on this side of the table. We've had Janik, Pletscher, we've had Thomas Herzog here. Athletes, these guys are. And you're stuck there. But, hey, we're working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a good voice.
Thank you much.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
All good.
Right then, so the drivers get back into their cockpits. Christoph, want to pick your brain. When you're in this situation, get back in the seat, what are you thinking?
Try not to think actually too much about it. I think it's about trying to be calm, maybe do some breathing exercise. I don't know. Some people try to get pumped up as well. Maybe remember the track. We've seen that, I think, from some guys at Kemptal a few weeks ago. That's what I normally do. And then the nerves kick in maybe at the 2-minute mark, load into the session. And try not to get distracted.
To actually think about what happened the day before in the Challenger League when you're sitting there waiting, because obviously now Christoph had a good view on what was happening in the knockout, maybe tomorrow when you race. Is this something that goes through your mind, or do you think, okay, now it's going to be totally different because other drivers, different level, no assistance, etc.?
I would say a little bit both. Obviously, I try to remember.
No longer is anyone relaxing, and the drivers are taking their seats. So I'm going to ask cameraman to follow me upstairs because people are getting strapped in. This is part of the Kemptal racing lounge. We're just outside of Zurich here. We've got to remember that these races are taking place around Europe right now. We've got racing taking place in Munich. We've got racing taking place in Madrid for this exact event. And these are our guys up in the Kemptal lounge. It's starting to get pretty hot. Very interesting. You can feel it in the air. A couple of minutes before the race starts, it's like the real thing. Everyone's happy and smiles, and then they sit themselves in. And as soon as they get in, it's equivalent of pulling down the visor on a helmet and you're focused, and you can see it. Faces change, smiles go, focus starts. We've got gentlemen here wearing racing gloves, racing shoes. It might seem extreme for anyone who's just tuning in. Take it from me, I've had the fortune of spending quite a bit of seat time in these things without gloves. You genuinely step out of these things with sweaty palms. It's much more focused and sort of intense than it might look. So everyone's starting to settle in. It is literally that sort of on before the storm, and we are going to tune in now and let you guys immerse yourselves in what is going to be one of the closest races that we've seen this season.
Hopefully so. Thank you, James, for that one. And Michael Waversick, the man who's ready to go. There he is. And it's great to see him back out on the grid after we absolutely butchered his name week one. We've got it right every time we've said it today.
I think how many times did you learn it at home? Be honest.
I practiced it for a whole month.
Whole month?
Yeah. And then he wasn't at race 2.
But he's at
He's
race
here
4.
today. He's here today. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, your work in the end, it worked out in the end for you, I guess, because you've said it so many times today. I was actually going to ask you.
I'm very impressed with that.
Yeah.
It's a win. It's a win today. It's a win. And hopefully we can speak to him on the grid. We're going to be bringing some driver interviews when they are on the grid. But Christoph, again, are you visualising your race start here at this moment?
I normally try to have a plan, yes, definitely, depending on which side I am. And try to execute it as best as possible.
Well, thank you, Christoph and Fabio, once again, for joining us in rush hour. Fabio will be back towards the end of the race today. Let's go racing as the drivers get ready.
This is Racing Unleashed Beyond the Pinnacle.
And it is greening. It's a good start for Rock already. They only make contact. Absolutely flying. He's a man on a mission at the moment. Right into the grab. What's happened up front? Oh, it's chaos. Can't take, he said. Agustin Torlaschi, a very American on the simulator as well.
This is Racing Unleashed.
And welcome back to Racing Unleashed. And as we are on the virtual grid, the drivers are getting ready for this race. They are all strapped in and ready to go. We're on our virtual grid. We're here. We've got the drivers to my right, and it is 20th place for Mario Stanik in this one. From Kemptol, the Swiss driver has a big task on his hand today to make sure he makes places up that grid to get himself to score a couple of points. Remember, for Mario Stanik and for Roberto Mez, their points are refreshed. They will be on 0 penalty points as from now. So they do not want in this one to put points back on their name. 19th place is then Roberto Mez. He will line up alongside Mario Stanik at the back of the grid. He also has a huge task. To Troninger, the P18 himself, a couple of penalties to his name. He's got to come forward in this race and try and progress through the field in Munich. The Egyptian driver, Mohamed Ramzi, in Munich as well. 17th place notice to his name. What can he do in this race? He's got pace. He's just got to get through this traffic, and there is a lot of traffic in this grid as well, as we saw already in the knockout qualifying session. 10 penalty points for Andreas Koch in this race. The Swiss driver in Kemptol needs to have a clean one to have some points removed off of his licence, because he's getting close to a qualifying knockout. 6 penalty points for Michael Waversick then in Zurich, ready to go, and it's great to see Michael back out there. Gianluca Palmisano got 4-place grid penalty to his name. He lines up P14, the Italian driver. Making his debut here in P13 is Dennis Eckenberger then. First time he is making his race start here after a qualifying session. 4-place grid penalty for Robin Dunny then. Is that a knockout band name for next time? He lines up P12 though at the minute. Agustin Torlaschi promoted a few places into P11. He'll be happy outside the top 10. Rock Merzel lines up in 10th place. What can he do? A race winner in the Challenger League this season. Matthias Oberkirch in calm. He lines up inside the top, and the Swiss driver already in points. Can he stay there? Adrian Gomez, a couple of penalties to his P8 at the moment. He's got a task as well to get close to that podium slot. We have just been told that we have time to a few drivers, so we'll get a call in at the moment. P8 for Adrian Gomez. He has got a task to maybe get onto that podium. Madrid lining up alongside whether you see Borges there once again as well. For Adrian Gomez, he just looks calm. He just looks like he's taking in his surroundings. He looks like he's focusing and visualising on what he's doing. As Christoph said a little earlier on, what can he do? Borgia also is P7 on the... We can talk to him now. Borgia, P7, what is the game plan today?
I don't know. It's going to be a tough race. I will give my best, so let's do it.
Are you streaming race today? We saw you stream back in the blog. Are you streaming today?
Not a streaming, but recording.
Record. So he's recording his footage. Borges, good luck in the coming up, my friend.
So much.
Brilliant for Borges also recording his footage and putting it on his channel. Championship leader Janik Pletscher, the Swiss driver in Kemptol. Look at how he never looks flustered, does Janik Pletscher. This guy is going from peace. He has got a big challenge on his hand. This, though, has the capability of winning this. Do not forget about that one. We can speak with Janik. P6. Podium on the card?
No, the race long, 20 laps, but I'm happy with 6, and I'm looking forward to the race.
You've got championship rival right in front of you, but thank you very much. Good luck for the race.
Thank you.
So Janik Pletscher, our Swiss driver in Kemptol, lining up. Nico Fahland in Munich, P5 for the German driver. Schlegel P4 in Zurich. Kemptol, the Swiss driver, will be lining up on the second row of the grid against the charging Marcus Valverde in Madrid. What can he do? Tyler Klausch, P2 in Munich, before your sitter Iron Man himself, Thomas Herzog in Zurich, Kemptol. That rounds out your grid for this Imola race. We are about to get underway then here in race. Thomas Herzog is lining up on pole position, and he is the man who has to do with things in this race. Can he himself make sure that he off this line very well in this one? He's got big tasks. The lights start to come out. It's Thomas Herzog on pole from Tyler Lausch. What can he do in this race? We are going to go for race 4 of the Challenger League here, Imola. And it's a start from Thomas Hertzog, but Tyler Klausch on tap between Borges in the field. And look at Tyler Klausch front already, up the side of Thomas Hertzog. And he gets the lead. Valverde has a look, but has to back out of it. Nico Fahland, Janik Pletscher coming wheel to wheel as well. Fabio Schlegel possibly, but Borges P7 already. He's had a decent start, gained one place. Tyler Klausch leads through first couple of corners into a hairpin. Valverde dives up the inside and wants a piece of Thomas Hertzog, and he gets a piece of Thomas Hertzog. Plays for them, but Hertzog hasn't given up this one. He's gone back around outside, and Thomas Hertzog with push to pass already at his disposal. Gain that place back. That is one from, I believe, Fabio Schlegel, and Janik Pletscher up the inside there. Klausch, he's off. Two's on the grass, and that gives the lead to Thomas Hertzog already. And Tyler Klausch does to him. He's tumbling down the standings already. Oh, you have to feel sorry for him. Back with Borges also. Pressure on Fabio Schlegel. Pulsed outside as he comes down towards Ravazza. He's there. He passed. You bet he is. And that is a ball the rear from Fab Schlegel, pushing Zazo into the gravel. Zazo reads more contact from the three of, and Adrian Gomez comes to the inside and gains two players. Janik Pletscher pushed to pass. This is from Borges on. Look at the chaos. Back down the order. Oh, big contact. Big contact. The drivers in the wall, not sure. One right around. Absolute chaos. Oh, there's another one back with the gravel at Mugello. Absolute disaster for the drive on lap 2 of 23. But Borges P6 on the back of his Madrid compatriot of Adrian Gomez. It is Hertzog from Valverde, Nico Fahland, Janik Pletscher. Already drivers using to pass apart Marcus Valverde, who is P8. And it's Rockman who's tumbled down to P14 here. Michael Ivasic dropped to 20th. What an absolute chaotic start. Here's Tyler Klausch, 19th place he's up. He's got pace, he can make more players up. Mohamed Ramsey's not come through the grid at the moment. He's 18th place. But here is Valverde on the back of Thomas Hertzog. Then it's Fahland, then it's Pletscher. Tal, Madrid, Munich, Tal, top four, all within a second half of each other. And it's Valverde, who's got a win to his name this season, but he took a podium, great podium last time out. Looking back from Thomas Hertzog, Valverde uses push to pass, Hertzog uses push to pass. Valverde looks to the outside at Tamburello. It'll be the inside for the second part. Has he got it done? He's gone a little deep, over sausage curbs he goes, and that gives Hertzog the place back. But watch out, because here comes Nico Fahland charging through Tamburello into Villeneuve now, and Valverde keeps hold of second place from Fahland. Already, Thomas Hertzog has used half of his push to pass imitations on 3 laps. Well, he defends for most of the knockout. Why not do it for the race as well? He's absolutely driving brilliantly to Thomas Hertzog, but he's got 3 of the championship contenders right on the back of him. And Valverde, who needs to finish ahead of Pletscher, Fahland to get himself really back into the championship, has a lot of work to. Pletscher at the moment can be quite content with following this man home. There is Angelo Mick in the background cheering on Nico Fahland. They sort of help each other throughout training, if you will, get themselves prepared for this race. Nico Fahland, though, currently P3 on the back of Valverde, 2:10 a second. Is he going to look around? He has a cheeky look, but pull back in, no contact made. Good driving from the pair of them. That has allowed Fahland to drop off the back of Valverde a little bit. And this man to get on the front of him. Janik Pletscher using push to pass, as is Fahland. Look out to the inside of Tamburello on Marcus Valverde, but has got the job done. He hasn't got the legs in his car and has to wait another lap. Valverde has pushed to pass usages over Hertzog, Fahland and Pletscher. Pletscher's coming Villeneuve to the outside. No better of it. Just waiting. Patient is Janik Pletscher to get this moved up. Very well, though, from Nico Fahland as well, to be attacking Valverde, not focusing on what Pletscher's behind, but attacking the man in front. He knows that if he can put cost between himself and Janik Pletscher, he'll close the gap in the championship. And Fahland, moment, in this exact job, it is fantastic to see as they come towards the chicane. Valverde now pulls down Thomas Hertzog. Hertzog doing what he did against Tyler Klausch in knockout, just popping it on the apex and in the middle of the road. And Valverde will start to get a little frustrated behind Hertzog. 2 usages left, though, of push to pass. Valverde has over Thomas Hertzog. He looks at Ravazza, patiently waits, knows he's not going to get the move done there. Misses back from Thomas Hertzog. Valverde, Fahland, Pletscher, all in the background. Big gap back to Gomez in 2.5 seconds again. And Hertzog using another lap of push to pull away. Valverde and Fahland, though, personal best lap for them two. As Torlaschi does the fastest race with a 1:62.62. Where is Agustin Torlaschi? To P7. Gianluca Palmiano into P8. You see in Munich, Angelo Michele now Racing Unleashed. Staff watching on, observe Nico Fahland. Munich haven't had him this season, and Nico Fahland deliver Munich's win. Valverde has lost out a little to Thomas Herzog. He got down to P11. Is Roberto Miguez, who's come from 19th place on the grid, let's not forget. So he's having a good charge up the field at the moment, is Roberto Miguez. He's on the back of our new driver, Dennis Eckenberger. And this will give Roberto Miguez a point moment. If he can break inside that top 10. Matty Overkirk down in 20th. Michael Waversick 12 seconds on the back of Rock. Merzel way down the order. Here is Roberto Miguez. Looking at point. Gets it nicely through the chain there as he heads downhill towards Ravazza now. 5 of 20 are about. Start lap 6. We do stop 6. Valverde used to push past there. Pletscher and Fahland. Maybe letting Valverde use some push pass to catch back to gain back a little standard. Augusto Torlaschi pumps in and fastest lap. Valverde pulls out, trying to extract Herzog, sell him the dummy. But Herzog too wide. For it. Here is Roberto Miguez. Inside at Tambolo. He gets the job done. Great respect from Dennis Eckenberg. Miguez into P10. Lovely manoeuvre from himself there. 7 laps to pass left. He gets into the 10th place. Tyler Clutch has got up to 4th after his early spin. Valverde back within 3/10 of a second of Thomas Herzog. He's still got Fahland within half a second. Who got Janik Pletscher 7/10 behind. And look at Marcus Valverde just patiently waiting. Needs a green headband to match his car. He's gone with a bright yellow one today though. He didn't have that one on last time out and he had a cracking race. Well, he's having a cracking drive now in his yellow headband. Little wide, too much curb on the first part of Ravazza. Gets it better through Ravazza too. And now Fahland can just release his car. Who's that off in front of the cloud? Someone's had a moment. I believe it was Dennis Eckenberger then has had a spin. We've just been told, so that way it was slow. And that then is Walter Troninger for Ravazza 1. Sit right for Ravazza 2. As Koch now has Tyler Klausch on the back of him. They all got to use push to pass. Tyler Klausch on that left-hand side of Andreas Koch then. In this one, down the straight P12 and 15. Can't get it done into Tamborel. Who's going to be there on the brakes? It's Tyler Klausch just by a little bit. And Koch gives him the room he needs. And Tyler Klausch up then in P12. Great racing from Tyler Klausch. Mohammed Ramsey's not too far back. And here is Andreas Koch then in Kemptal at the moment. Trying to recover them places. 1, 2, 3, 4. Red, yellow, green and blue. He's Kemptal, Munich, Kemptal at the moment. Hertz, Valverde, Fahland and Pletscher. Oh, your leaders, they're still separated by about a second and a half. As Valverde, very on the brakes. There comes Thomas Herzog. Thought he was going to enter into the back, but he didn't. It's a great drive from Marcus Valverde. He gets it back going to the scenes live in Kemptal at the moment, where all the spectators are looking, watching on at this fantastic racing. Valverde uses push to pass. He pulls out now on Tom Herzog, right around the outside at Tamborello. Gets it done and doesn't make the mistake this time. Great move as the Racer League champion leader Alejandro Sanchez watches on in the background. Valverde takes the lead of this race. Now then, Thomas Herzog, what can you do to come back at Valverde? You've got Fahland and Pletscher on the back of you. Roberto Miguez moves up into 9th ahead of Doden. Valverde now has a chance to pull away, and look at Janik. He never looks flustered. And Janik absolutely driving a dream race. He's got his championship rival right in front of him, and that is where he wants him at the moment. He'd rather be front, let me tell you. But while he loses place, it's not going to worry Janik too much. Great through the chicane. Nico Fahland will want to race in bad. He'll get past Thomas Herzog as quick as possible. Schlegel gets past Merzel down the order. And there's Herzog all close to the back of Thomas Herzog there. And you saw Angelo Michel have a puff of the cheek. He got a bit close in the background. Don't you worry, Angelo. Everything is fine because he pulls to the left now. Push to pass. Thank you very much, Thomas Herzog. E2. But where is Herzog? He's coming back to him. Round the side. Who gets the move? I think Fahland backed out. And Thomas Herzog. Now look at Janik Pletscher. Great driving from the 4. Gomez and Borges and Augusto Torlaschi are charging the back of these. And Fahland now through field gets a great one into the hairpin. But cannot go the long way round. Bit of contact made. Janik just side by side. Fahland. A bump wheel to him as well. Here comes Pletscher. Fahland's got Herzog done. Herzog let Pletscher through as well. Not sure what happened to Thomas Herzog here, but he's gone second to 4th. And Janik Pletscher on the podium following his championship leader through. For Thomas Herzog then, he has to regroup and refocus. Can he get on the rear of the front 3? Valverde has put daylight, a lot of daylight, between himself and Nico Fahland at the moment. Look who's behind Herzog. Gomez, Darzo, Torlaschi. Right on the back of Tom Herzog now. As championship leader, the second place in standings, Pletscher and Nico Fahland for 2nd and 3rd. Fahland used a push to pass. He's got 1 left. Pletscher uses 1 now. He got 1 left. Pletscher used his a little after Fahland. Here he comes. to the outside at Tamburello. Janik Pletscher. All great racing between the pair of them. They're side by side, Fahland on the gravel a little bit there. And Nick Pletscher moves into P2. Absolute fantastic driving. Gomez has got Herzog as well. But Janik Pletscher moving wide is the championship lead at the moment. This is fantastic to watch from the pair of them. Valverde has gone up front. And look at him, barely breaking a sweat is Janik Pletscher. What an absolute move that. What respect for a pair of them is fantastic. Having good bit of give and take. This, with 5 messages of push to pass, has brought Gomez within a second of Nico Fahland. And now Pletscher's in front. Fahland needs to keep defending, if you will. One moment. Gomez isn't close enough yet. And Fahland will know it. I want to make sure he keeps it that way. Here's Borges. Oh, don't tip your Madrid Patriot, Borges. Using up to pass though is Borges on Thomas Herzog. Sorry, to his Spanish compatriot. Here comes Borges. Oh, Thomas Herzog used one. So watch for Thomas coming back at Borges here. There he comes. Oh no! Contact made and Herzog is right around. I think, did he just collect Agustin Torlaschi there? He turned in a little on Borges. What a shame, Thomas Herzog. He's 7 seconds. Talmy's Arno in 8. And look at Janik Pletscher, he's put a sec between himself. Here's Stanik up the inside. Tamburello on Andrea. Oh, great move. Great move, Stanik there. He's coming from 20th, he's to 14th. Guez, who come from 9th, he's gained 10 places, he's up to 9th. There's the field, a little strung out between a few drivers, but there's some great battle playing up and down track. Up Mertz, just past Fabio Schlegel. So is Eichenberger. He moved into 17th now, so Schlegel's down yet another place. Got Waversick 8 seconds behind him. Took him Waversick gain on the back. Lap 12 of 23. This is Tyler Clash. He's got Mathew Ramsey right behind him. He's got Walter Troninger right in front of him. All 3 drivers racing at Munich, so contact won't want to be made here. He looks to the inside on Walter Troninger. Gets the car stop on the apex. Absolute beautiful move, Tyler Clash. That textbook. Absolute tech. Ramsey now on the back of Troninger, but Troninger, a couple laps more push to and Klaus. Will he use one on the straight towards Borello? Looks to pull out. Tyler. He's got Troninger to the right side of him. Little bit on that there. Troninger tries to go on the outside. He'll have the inside for the second. And that is a good from Walter Troninger. Talk textbook. You've just seen 2 overtakes there. They're absolutely beautiful. Well done from drivers in Munich. Walter Troninger there. The experience on that manoeuvre was classical. Janik Pletscher got to 3 seconds to Valverde, but Valverde has 4 usages of push to compared to Pletscher's 1. He's put another 4 tenths between himself and Nico Fahland, who's gapped Gomez a little bit. Tyler Klaus now looking on the back of Troninger again. Oh, way! That was close to the back of Troninger there. And Mohammed did well not to put it into the back. Tyler Klaus, who's having a look. Tyler Klaus into the Janik Pletscher. Fastest lap. 6 tenths faster than Valverde last time around. He's come. 10 laps to go. He's charging at the minute is Janik Pletscher. Torlaschi has got past Borges Orzo for the end of that one. So Torlaschi up into P5. He's winner last time out. Tried to keep with his title challenges. It's Madrid. Kemptall, Munich, Madrid, Kemptall, Madrid, and then Kahn around out the point at the moment. It's been anything but out there on the track. There's been brilliant rain out at the moment, and drivers still can move. 10 laps to go. Here's Mohammed Ramsey. And we heard James, when he was speaking about the drivers not wearing any gloves, you really do come away with sweaty palms. Or Mohammed Ramsey might feel that one. Because look, no glove in his hands there, so he may feel what James is saying about how difficult it will be to grip that wheel at the end of this race with the sweaty palm. But he's doing a cracking job at the minute. 3 tenths off the back. Tyler Klaus still got 6 laps of push to pass left to use as well. Borges was within 6 tenths of Agustin Torlaschi. He's as well got 6 tenths, 6 usage push to pass. There is Ramsey. Brilliantly through the chicane. You have to feel for Tyler Clark. The leader of this race made his own mistake, and that's what's cost him in this one. Torlaschi, personal best lap last time around as the 3 Munich cars come into Ravazza. Oh no, Ramsey! He's dropped it on his own out of Ravazza too. He's just lit the rear wheels, but around come the rear end of the car. And you can just see the look on his face. He's absolutely distraught that he made that mistake. Rocknessel trying to look Andreas Koch here for 14th place now. Ramsey's made that mistake. Ramsey's on the back of him. And Mitchell's still got 6 users of push to pass. A look at Villeneuve. There is Rock. Oh, bitchy through Villeneuve. He's gone wide and Ramsey will take the place back. Rock Mertzel there, just a little mistake into the right-hander. And has got to do all the work again. Here comes Ramsey. Backs out at one. Didn't want to piece that into the left-hander. As he set him up into the right-hander now. He pulls out up the inside. Oh, backs out of that one. Very cautious drive from Ramsey. Get on now. It's your opportunity. And Ramsey doesn't need a second invitation. Thank you. I'll have P13. 14. Apologies. Ramsey moving up the order back after his spin. The tyres will just cool down a little bit. They can come back to him. Out front. Janik Pletscher's close gap to 2.2. Lap 15 of 23. On. So Pletscher flying. Mertzel now back of Andre Koch here. Does his fastest lap of the race. Mertzel was on the back of him. Now side by side, he's in front of him. As they cross the line, Mertzel moves up to P50 ahead of Andre Koch there then. So moves still happen in this race. Janik Pletscher is charging at the moment. 2 seconds the gap. If we look at our little track in the bottom corner, we'll see that Valverde is coming into Ravazza now. And here is Marcus Valverde through Ravazza to start lap 16, I do believe. Still got 4 uses of push to pass left. So is he going to wait to use them maybe to defend? The 1-2 lost to Pletscher that lap. Borges also uses a lap of push pass, but he's not close enough to Torlaschi. He does a personal best lap. So well done Borges also, but not close enough to Torlaschi to get this move done. Torlaschi's gaining the back of Gomez. So here is Janik Pletscher. That is, I believe, Matthias Okerk, a back marker. Is a lap down. And gets out the way of Janik Pletscher. Pletscher actually lost a couple of tenths behind Overkirk there. He's just got to make up a few more tenths. Here's Tyler Klausch, P11, trying to get on the back of Robin Doan for that final point. And here Tyler Klausch was leading at one point. Looks up the inside at Villeneuve, better of it. Try and sells the dummy now, just on the curb, on the outside curb. And you see him there. The minute the car went round, you just saw the reaction. Tyler Klausch. Every time he started to push forward, he's made a little mistake that cost him points in this race today. Torlaschi within 7/10 of Adrian Gomez. He wants a taste of more wins podiums because he's flying Agustin Torlaschi moment. Absolutely charged. Valverde, personal best lap, 4/10 quicker than Pletscher. But forget, Janik Pletscher got held by Overkirk a little bit coming through Villeneuve. Here is Torlaschi, our Argentine driver. Gomez up for little wiggle. Well held, Agustin. Well held indeed. Right to Villeneuve. Gomez just in front. Is that Overkirk just in front of Adrian Gomez? It's just held Gomez up a little bit through Villeneuve. It is, yes. Who moves out the way uphill. And that allowed Torlaschi right on Mathew Gomez here. We're on board with Nico Fahland, P3. He's just not had an answer. Janik Pletscher's got past, has he? Just has had an answer. But in third place, good point 10. Rock Mertzel down in 15th. Trying to get back on the rear end of Mathew Ramsey. 5 laps of push to pass left still for him. No driver has all their push to pass yet. And there's one driver, 6 laps left. The most of anybody, or 6 stages left. That's Michael Waversick. For Rock Mertzel then, he's well ahead. There's Kempthal once again. Fans, drivers, colleagues, family, owners of Racing Unleashed sitting and watching on. The action happens. And they're watching Fabio Legal on the back of Dennis Eckenberger for P17. What will this take away from today's experience, do we think? As he'll try and qualify for the next race next time out. A learning curve for him today. Learning curve as he's just gone very for the double right-hander. And Schlegel will not need a second invitation. He goes flying through. So that's a shame, Dennis, but Fabio Schlegel get past. What an absolute shame that is. So Schlegel, 17th place. Mohamed Ramsey does his best lap of the race. Pletscher seems to have stagnated him too. It's 2.4 seconds between himself and Valverde. Valverde has used a lap push to pass though. Torlaschi. Usages left. Off push to pass over Adrian Gomez in front. Here is Dennis Eichenberger. In Kempthal. Down in PA. What will he take from today's experience, or this whole experience, and tries to qualify for the next race at the end of July? The race that will signal the halfway stage of the season as well. Here's Mohamed Ramsey getting on the back of Tyler Klausch, who has had good pace, but a couple of mistakes himself has just cost him in this Gomez personal best lap as he tries to widen the gap between himself and Torlaschi. I thought Ramsey had lost the car there as he bounced over the curb, but well held from Mohamed Ramsey. Down into Ravazza. On the back of Tyler Clash. He's still got 4 uses of push to pass as well, so he could really hammer that push to pass here. Down the straight, lap 19 of 20. Merzel uses to pass. Try and get within that kind of Mohamed Ramsey then. And he's pulling, he does his personal best lap of the race, a 16.2 for Rock Merzel then. Janik Pletscher is another 4 tenths front. Fahland 1.7 behind Pletscher. Did Pletscher make a mistake last night? Last lap. Here's Matthias Overkirk down in P20 at the moment. He's a lap down to the lead as well, but he's still going this race, and it's all seat time and time for Overkirk in this one. He'll attempt to qualify once again. Here's Michael Wavers. P19 for himself, uses a lap push to pass there as he puts down the line. 2.9 behind Dennis Eichenberger. And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Waversick. P19 at the moment. Rock Mertz gaining on the back. Mohamed Ramsey, who's still on the back. Tyler Klausch. Lap 20 of 23, so the leaders have already started to complete. In fact, they're already halfway through this. If you look at the track map, that red dot on the track map, that's Valverde. Merzel here, Doni's got himself back ahead of Roberto Miguez, and that's why he's off. Troninger and Klausch and Ramsey pass. And Merzel. So what happened there? Roberto Miguez come from 9th place. He's in the point. Well, he's not anymore. He looks up the inside. Merzel, and he wins Merzel round at Tambello. Is that frustration from Miguez just after a count ban? Well, that's put end of Mertz catching round then. As Klausch the only driver to not have a push to pass left at his disposal. There is Rock. Another man who doesn't wear any gloves. Well, if you can hear us, he might tell them that the gloves are the way to go. That might towards the front of the grid. Rock's already had a win this season. There's no Fahland then. P3 at the moment. He's getting within 7 tenths. Janik Pletscher towards the end of this race has just started to slip away from him. He's now 3.6 behind Marcus Valverde, and both one use up to pass only. Has now got Fahland in 6 tenths. He needs to keep hold of the place, does Janik Pletscher, because they'll pull him a couple of points away in the championship. Let's not forget. Mohamed Ramsey, P12. Look at the draw up front. Stick from the back of the pack. Doni and Troninger for points. As he gets past one, Robin Doni. Tyler Clark gets past him as well. Now Mohamed Ramsey with a couple of laps left. Almost sniffing at a point here. One more car and he's in the points. Looks up the inside at the hairpin. Can't get a move there. That's not going to happen. Troninger beautifully placed the car well. Valverde starts lap 22. We're watching Mohamed Ramsey. He's on board. He's on the back of Troninger. There onto Troninger is Stanek, who's come 20th place at the moment and is singing P9. Fantastic drive from Mario Stanek here. And Ramsey has just been on the back of cars all the time, and unless cars in front made a mistake, he's not seemed to have the pace to get the job done. Tyler Klausch, no push to pass left. He's going to look at Ravazza. Ramsey defends well, not taps the back of Walter Troninger there, his Munich colleague. And now Tyler Klausch has been pushed wide. Is that by Troninger? Now Doni back in the P10. So Ramsey a day late, $1 short. Troninger pushes Klausch wide. And just a domino effect with the drivers at Munich. At the sharp of the grid, though, Pletscher's got Fahland in 4 tenths of a second. Look at this as Valverde is gone. 0.6 seconds. He's going to stop final lap. Pletscher has 1 lap of push to pass at his disposal. So does Nico Fahland. When do the drivers think of using that 1 lap? They're coming round Vatsa now. They're starting the final lap of this race. Fahland crosses the line. Pletscher uses push to pass. Fahland does. Is that a tick from Fahland? As he's now a bit of time to get Pletscher and a bit of speed. Bit of a gap form now. Fahland, 1 lap of push to pass. 1 lap in this race. He's going to have 1 chance to get past Pletscher if he can get close enough. But this man, he's been in the lead after past Thomas Herzog. He hasn't looked back after passing Thomas Herzog. What drive. 2 races in a row. Valverde has had a phenomenal drive. Middle sector of the lap for Marcus Valverde. It's going to be 2 wins apiece. Madrid and Tall at the moment. This is a provisional route. We'll bring you the full class of the top 3 classification when it comes to its end. But for Valverde here, this will make it Madrid's 2nd win with Kemp Tall. Carmen Munich still not won one. Down to Ravazza he comes for the final time. Roberto Miguez fastest of the race. Round the final corner. It's going to be the man with headband, Marcus Valverde, your race winner for race 4. Very happy man. And you hear a deafening sound, Madrid. Brilliant to see. And here, as Janik Pletscher crosses the line, P2. Nico Fahland, P3. Great drive, though, from Marcus Valverde. He looks happy, man. Look, P2. Well done, Janik. Fantastic to see. As he's just debriefing there with family. And Janik, a fantastic P2 there. We keep it. There was a bit of contact made. Congratulations from people around. Drivers, colleagues, family, friends. Adrian Gomez across the line for P4. Ahead of Agustin, Torlaschi, E5. Ozars was P6 in this one. 7th place went the way of Herzog, so points in the bag for Toss. As we see Janik still receiving I5. Gianluca Palmisano, P8. Matt Stanek from the back of the grid, P9 at the moment. And we bring you the rest of the results as they come. But fan friends, colleagues watching on in Munich, 10 went the way of Tyler Klausch in the end. What will he be thinking at the end of this one? Fahland, good to see. Is that confetti on the car of Nico Fahland? Great to see. Confetti being sprayed for our man on the podium. Bit in his hair. Well, there, he can take that one home with him. Put it with his medal on his mantelpiece if he keeps that podium. So great drive as they come back to the pit lane then. We await full classification of the top 3. But provisionally, it's Valverde, Janik Pletscher, Nico Fahland. 11th place was Walter Troninger in that one. Before P12, Roberto Miguez, Rock Mertzel 13th, Matt Ramsey 14th place, Andrea Koch in 15th, Doney in 16th place, Schlegel 17th, Echenberger in P18 before Wasik 19th and Overcook in 20th. That then is your provisional grid. We'll bring you the top 3 classification when we have it confirmed to us. What a race, what dramas, what thrill, what spills, some say. Don't forget, if you want to qualify now for the next Challenger League event, it is the 17th of July till the 26th of July. To get to one of our racing lounge, Munich, Madrid, or one of the 3 in Switzerland, get involved here. Qualify to have yourself in that top 20 on the grid for our next race, which is halfway point of the season as well, which is on the 28th and the 29th of July. That one will be next with you at our home circuit here at Zurich International Airport. So we don't have to use our interactive studio. We can just cut the window and see. But as we look at our screen, Thomas Herzog having a discussion there with Janik Pletscher. He can be happy. He took a pole position. He's got points bag. And Janik, very happy man. Today we got to speak to him brief on the grid, and I'm sure Thomas Herzog as well will be filled with the fact he's got point on the board. So we await the confirmation at the moment from race call for our top. But as it stands, Marcus Valverde, race winner, Janik Pletscher, P2, and Nico Fahland, P3. As the drivers can just relax because their job is done. They have until the 17th of July, but they have to qualify, so I'm sure they'll be getting as much practice in around Zurich as possible before they can qualify, to give themselves as much preparation as possible. As we look over our balcony of the upstairs area where the simulators are and see the support from the crowd, as there we've got fan friends, drivers as well. Michael waving out the car. There's Madrid. Good scenes at Madrid as well, and they'd be very, very happy. 2 wins for Camp Top, 2 wins for Madrid at the moment. And I have nothing wrong with Valverde's win there. I thought that was very, very well done, and it was fantastic to see. Smiles all round in Madrid. There we're joined by Theo once again.
Hello.
Interesting race to say the least. Interesting is the word I'm going to use there.
Interesting. Why is that?
Great driving, incidents, mistakes from individuals on their own. So we're with interesting for that one. We didn't get a winner from you. Who's your race winner?
I mean, I didn't say it, yeah. To be honest, I wasn't expecting Thomas to win.
Yeah.
But he held off the guys for such a long time, actually. He did a great job there. In the end, maybe, there was too much going on for him, but he managed to end up on P70, I believe. First points of the season. Congrats to him. But what a fight front.
Fantastic, fantastic to see. And I'll tell you what, that is 2 races in a row for Valverde, where he has had a fantastic drive.
Yeah, Valverde just shows that it's possible to actually come from the back and win races. Also, as Torlaschi did in the last challenge. But also, Janik, I mean, he's just there all the time, making those podiums, getting those points in, as well as Nico, as this guy. consistent, they actually call him. I think it's P4 and now 3 times P3 or something.
Yeah, and he's had a P4. But yeah, Nico Fahland, I mean, the confetti on the car, Munich clearly happy with that. We can, though, speak with Nico. Now, Nico, confetti on your car. It's clearly a happy camp at Munich.
Yeah, I was really surprised of the confetti over here. It's a little bit in my sim now, but I'm quite happy with the podium.
Talk us through your race there, Nico, because it looked a fantastic race.
Yeah, it was pretty fast. I think the pace was better than I had in Mugello. I have working on that point. I was not pretty happy. I kept like 2 times faster in the race. Was quite moves from Valverde on the straights. He moves to the left. I had covered the inside to the I fully go from the throttle, and nearly we crashed. And a fair battle against Janik Pletscher in the first corner. It was pretty good. Yeah. He did a bit touchy at the second corner, and I don't know. It's not a penalty, I think, because it's fair racing.
It's becoming a great season between yourself and Nick Pletscher. The racing between both of you is fantastic. You just can't seem to beat him at the moment.
Yeah, he's pretty fast. Maybe I can beat him in just a few races. Now we have 5 weeks of break, and I have 1 week of vacation, so bring some energy in my body and then continue battling against him.
Perfect. Congrats, Nico. This is Fabio. One question. Once you were going wheel to wheel with Janik there, obviously it was a tight battle, as you said. Fair racing, hard racing, but what goes through your mind battling with Janik, especially because you know Valverde is actually has overtaken Thomas already and you want to actually follow him, but then you're in this battle with Janik.
Yeah, I knew at the start of the race he was not pushing. And I was not pushing as well because we was waiting until watching Valverde what he's doing, and then he overtook him, and then we starting to push, and he went wheel to wheel. It was very fair. I give him the spin the first corner, but he touched me a little bit in the second, as I said. But it's okay. Pretty good racing.
Great respect. Great respect between you guys. But my question in the end here is, who's gonna clean up the simulator?
I don't know. Maybe I was putting this. Inside of me.
Well, Nico, congratulations. Enjoy your week's vacation. Hopefully you're fully refreshed for the Zurich International Airport Circuit in a few weeks' time. Well done to Nico Fahland, provisionally P3 at the moment.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It was a great fight from himself and Janik Pletscher. We saw them go wheel to wheel, and this really looks like the way it's going to be all season, doesn't it? Valverde, and we've had Torlaschi take a win, we've had Valverde take a win. But when they're winning, then we're fighting on the track.
Yeah, it was fantastic. That's what we like to see, you know, racing, close racing. No incidents between those guys. They know how to battle out between each other. Great respect. Yeah, I mean, Christoph and myself, we were on the edge of our seats there, basically, just holding our breath that nothing was wrong here. But yeah, fantastic.
Fantastic indeed. And this man, look, he's a happy man. Smiles and thumbs up. He always looks so calm in the cockpit, doesn't he, when he's racing? He never looks like he's flustered. But he's got a big smile on his face. Janik, P2, you've got to be happy with that one.
Definitely, Matthew. I'm really happy with the result. Yeah, it was amazing.
Sporting some fetching merchandise today. The number 5.
Yes.
I'd like to say you was inspired by myself in the number 5, but that's probably not the case. P2 though, great battle with Nico Fahland.
Thanks. Yes, he well deserved. Really good battle between all of us. I think it was a great race overall. What I see, and yes, congrats to Marco Valverde. Really nice for him. P1. Congrats from me. And also congrats to Fahland. Very clean battle. Yes.
Just talk us through the end of your race, though, Janik. It just looked like did you make a few mistakes because Nico caught you at the end?
Yes, I did some mistakes. I had some luck with traffic, but yeah, overall I hadn't the consistency in that race. Maybe it's because it's late now, you know, and yeah. I'm a bit. Yeah, I'm a bit tired, you know, I'm a bit, yeah, sleepy, I don't know, but yes, I didn't have the pace today to get to P1. So, yeah, Zurich, I need to train more to get more consistency.
Yeah, congrats from me as well, Janik. We saw a lot of people using push to pass in very different places on the straight, actually, then out of the chicane, and then one going up hill, actually. Where did you use it?
I use it on the straight. That's like the best overtake place on the circuit. And I also used it up the hill, you know, and then turn left. And yeah, it was overall a bit strategic, and I used it very early the race. So I knew I had 4 people ahead of me. So yeah, there should be not more overtakes than that.
Well, Janik, congratulations on the P2. Look forward to seeing you. Hopefully it's Zurich. Janik Pletscher, currently provisionally P2 at the moment. Thank you very much, Janik Pletscher.
Thank you, Matthew.
Very happy with his race, with my number 5.
With number 5.
That's my race number. Yeah.
I see.
Race number as we go to Madrid then, and it's fantastic scenes there at Madrid. And I wonder if we can get a read from any of the spectators watching on Marcus Valverde. Worth pointing out here, it's the same green simulator that Torlaschi won in last time out. Marcus, race winner provisionally at Imola. That was a great race from yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even believe because it was really close, because I was in like the first 10 laps. I had already like 4 warnings for struggling, and I had to keep the whole race like not pushing all my best, because you know it's really important to stay in your track limits. And yeah, I was all the time looking at the relative with Nico and Janik, and sometimes it was closer, but yeah, I think I managed pretty well. Also the push to pass, so yeah, I'm pretty happy.
You got past Thomas Herzog early on in the race, and he managed to do you a bit of a favour by holding Janik and Nico up a little bit for you to create that gap.
Yeah, I mean, I also, the first time I was managing the push passes, the first time I thought, I mean, like, they are wasting, trying to overtake me. I will just wait, try to overtake Herzog, and they will hopefully stay like in stuck behind him. So yeah, I started to pull away, and I managed pretty well.
Now, Fabio's just asked Janik a question. Where was you mainly using your push to pass in the race?
I only used it like in the main straight. Only I tried to press it like before the pit lane and after the pit lane, but yeah, it didn't really make a difference. So all the time I used it on the main straight.
Well, it's back-to-back wins for Madrid. I think you're going to have to get a green headband now to match the simulator you've just won in.
Yeah. Next time, probably the green color matches me. So let's go.
Well done, Marcus. Can't wait to see what you can do at Zurich in a month's time. And as I was saying before we spoke with Marcus there, that's 2 wins in a row, not just for Madrid, but for that green cockpit.
Seems to be a very quick simulator, right? But they're more or less the same for everyone.
Yes.
So maybe there was just a little bit of luck that it's the same one. But who knows? Maybe we'll keep that in mind for the next time round.
To see what happens at Madrid. But I wonder if Marcus will kiss it like Agustin did last time out. Either way, it's 2 in Madrid at the moment provisionally. It's 2 wins for Kemptal. It's still not a win for Munich. But this is the moment Marcus Valverde crossed the line to be your race today, and it was a fantastic drive, Marcus Valverde. He got past Herzog and he just didn't look back, did he?
Yeah, there goes the Vamos, and obviously his fans celebrating. I guess it's a fan back there behind his simulator. Awesome.
So, so your provisional result then, as it's on your screen now, Marcus Valverde provisional P1, Pletscher P2 with Nico Fahland provisionally in P3. What this will do for Marcus Valverde, if he keeps hold of that win, it'll possibly jump him ahead of Rock Mertz, closer to Adrian Gomez and Agustin Torlaschi. It really puts him in this championship fight.
I mean, it's the best we can hope for, right? It's a 4-way battle at the moment. Pletscher, Fahland, Valverde, Torlaschi. Maybe Gomez not too far away as well.
Gomez isn't far away. Borges also seems to have pace, but he just can't seem to find that podium at the moment.
Yeah, but he was also a bit unlucky, as we saw there. Again, involved in some little incidents that just keeps him away from the front. But still, very good racing from Borges there as well. So we'll see where he ends up in the future as well.
As we get to this halfway stage, the Challenger League next race for them is the halfway mark. So when they finish at Zurich next time out, that's half their season gone. Do the drivers then start to think, right, okay, it is now a 4-way fight, a 3-way fight, 2-way fight?
Maybe the guys in the front. The guys in the back, they just go for the win or for points, obviously. But the guys in the front are just so consistent at the moment. Not many penalties holding them back. So maybe you never know in future. Maybe penalties come to play and actually influence the championship. Who knows? But for now, it's just it doesn't, because they're good racers and they provide good racing.
We see this. Valverde had a penalty last time at second place.
Yeah.
So the penalties, unless it's a full weekend ban, a race ban, the penalties aren't the way in the world. We saw Valverde come through the. Janik, you say Nico Fahland missed the consistent. Janik Pletscher, a win, 2 second places and a 5th place. Nico Fahland, a couple of 3rds and a 4th. That is the standard that these guys are drawing to at the moment, and this is making it so difficult because they're going to look to be making that step up to the Racer League next year. That's the great kind of consistency that's put them into the big league. Yeah,
that's exactly what you need to make that jump into the league, as we saw last year with Zero, Znan and David, right? So that's what you need, and they're driving well at the moment, so they deserve a spot up there. Let's see how the season ends up.
Right, so we've got some replays to take a look at. Let's bring them to you in a few moments' time to take a look at a few of the replays of the Imola race, and a lot to talk about. This is Janik Pletscher's start then, and a start line one. Let's talk us through this then, Fabio. He's offline. He's not the best of starts compared to Fahland there.
Not quite sure if he's on the push to pass there. Let's see the cars that are actually gaining a lot of speed, going through the outside. Now, what's going to happen here?
Oh, very tight, very tight. Oh, that lovely. Lovely, nice, clean.
Yeah.
Mohamed Ramsey, back down the order a little.
It just wasn't the day of Ramsey, unfortunately. There was so much going on in his race, his knockout as well, as we saw.
This is Mario Nick car off in front of him, down towards the double right-hander. Oh, bit of a snap, mid-corner.
Yeah, that can happen. Dirty air, probably. Yeah, a lot of little bumps and, off-track experience here.
And it is just all a little.
And this one is the big one in the beginning, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Tyler Bausch. Like 1, 2, 3. It's like a game of pinball up there. Look. There we go. Big one.
Yeah, he can't do anything there. Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, this is Walter Stringer's view of it. Look, one off to the right, one off to the left, back across the track. There he goes. Robin then. Already on a knockout ban. Push the driver on the grass. The driver breaks on grass and spins around. Roberto Miggs.
Yeah, that's a clear one. Yeah.
As is that one. Okay.
Roberto's coming from a knockout ban.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Here's the same view. This one then, Roberto Miguel, bang.
So that statistic is gone, right? That someone with a knockout ban never gets a penalty. That's gone.
This is the move of Janik Pletscher and Nico Fahland. Yeah. Space round 1. Oh, there's no contact there.
It looked like, yeah.
Nico Fahland says a bit of contact, but there was no contact on our view there. So maybe Fahland just a little twitch that he felt was possibly contact.
Maybe it was the wind of Janik's car. You never know. But still, there was such a great move between those two guys. And Janik, obviously, with the better end right after this action here.
And that shows why them two are the two at the top of the championship, because of driving like that.
Yeah, definitely. So these guys know what they're doing. And they're listening carefully now. So awesome to see those guys. I hope they enjoyed it. Some of them have a smile on their faces. Francisco as well.
Yeah, I hope our owner Francisco enjoyed that one live in our Kempthal lounge. Every driver did very, very well. He is enjoying it with the looks like. He's enjoying it a lot there. And so all the drivers did very, very well. And it's great support for the drivers and all the staff members in the lounge and in Kempthal, and I'm sure Mr. JW enjoyed that one as well. But Janik Pletscher and Nico Fahland, 2 on the podium provisionally at the moment for Marcus Valverde, your race winner, and they're all fighting for a little trophy there for the season. We are nearly at the halfway stage of the Challenger League season, and that is becoming bigger in Janik Pletscher's sort of grasp. It's not within reach just yet.
Not just yet. I mean,
it's coming.
That is on.
Obviously, Zurich Airport Circuit, 28th, 29th of July. The 1st and 2nd of September, we are at Monza. 29th and 30th of September, we're at the Barcelona Circuit. Sport, the 27th and 28th of October. Laguna Seca, 17th and 18th of November. And then the 8th and 9th of December, not only is it our battle for glory, but it is round 10 of the season. That is your provisional podium, Mark Valverde. This is your official podium. That is Marcus Valverde, Janik, Pletscher, Nico, Fahland. That is confirmed. Bravo. That is the way it ends. Valverde, second and first in 2 weeks. Madrid, back-to-back wins for the Green Simulator.
What can I say? Just congrats to the guys for good racing. Let's keep it going. I mean, it's awesome. What we have there at the moment, that champion fight, brilliant.
Munich still not got a win.
Munich will get there. I mean,
you keep saying this.
Yeah, but why do you have to rub it into Munich?
I'm just keeping the fans updated with us.
Yeah, I see. But
it's not rubbing it in. It is firing the fuel, so that Schmiedl tomorrow, possibly, or anybody else in Munich, will be like, right,
let's do it.
Let's get a race. Yeah. First one for Munich.
They will.
They'll get a win.
Yeah, they'll
get a win this season. So there they all are in Munich. Speaking of our lovely friends over there in Germany, getting ready for the podium celebration then.
All right.
And here comes Nico Fahland, who steps on to number 3, and he's going to receive his medal. No more confetti for him this time, it doesn't look like it. They've used all the confetti. Oh, no, there is more. There is more. From Sebastian Hirsch and Tyler Clausen. More confetti to take home for Nico Fahland.
Very good. Oh, someone will have a hard job cleaning that up, actually. But well done to the guys there celebrating.
That's fantastic. As we head now to our live camera crew in Kemptol then for the number 2 step on the podium. And Janik should appear momentarily. I wonder if we've got confetti here. There he is. Where Janik? As there's the confetti.
Yes.
And the medal from James as well. And you look, he's a very happy man. Some pick that confetti up and throw it on him. In for a picture. Fantastic to see. Look at that great atmosphere in Kemptol for the award.
Well done.
Brilliant to see there. I know if Madrid have any confetti to pour for Marcus Valverde. Let's wait and see.
I think they will just have a big applause there, but let's see.
So
there he goes.
See. In the sunlight, you see through the window on our Racing Unleashed banner, the backdrop. We await Marcus Valverde to come on. He's just to the right of it. To the left, Marcus. To the left. There we go. He's in now. It's a big cheer and a big round of applause. A fantastic call. And it's Marcus Valverde. What an atmosphere in Madrid that is.
Yeah, very well done. I mean, this could be actually like a little competition between those guys, no? Oh, we hear the anthem. Well done.
There's a party in Madrid tonight.
Oh my God, this could be like a competition now between the lounges. I see that already. Well done.
See why I keep saying about Munich's not going to race? Fire in the fuel. Yeah. Competition, but let's, hey, this is something maybe for next year.
Yeah.
An inter-lounge to battle between the lounges, like a constructors, if you will. Look at that. Kemptol's decided to make some noise now. They've all got in for a picture. They're all making some noise with Janik Pletscher on the podium. Great to see.
And his grandfather as well there. Nice to see.
They've heard Madrid make some noise, so they've come back to make some noise as well.
Awesome to see.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see the scenes. It's great to see that in Madrid, Munich and Kemptol. A fantastic scene.
Great to see. Thank you everyone for coming, actually. It's so great to see also there Tiziano, former Challenger League driver. Maybe we'll see him back also.
League tomorrow after. But for all these Challenger League drivers now, they get a chance to have a bit of a break. They get 2 weeks off before the qualification window opens. 17th of July, the qualification period opens for all of the Challenger League drivers to try and qualify for the next event at the Zurich Airport circuit. And for the Swiss drivers in particular, they're going to be on the grid for their home race.
I mean, this is one that Janik wants to win.
Yeah.
100%. Overtaking is a lot easier there because we have long straights. The track is wider, so it's going to be awesome to see what the guys are doing.
I raced the circuit with Janik and Ciro and Tiziano last year. The last one I did before Dave came back. They said, do you want to go with me? I said, yeah. Didn't know the circuit.
And?
Didn't end very well for me.
But once you learned the track...
We went round turn 1 and they was gone.
Okay. But what do you think of it?
Brilliant circuit.
Yeah.
Bumpy, challenging, twisty, fast, really fast.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a fantastic race next time out.
Yeah, looking forward to it as well.
Yeah. It is the Monaco of the Racing Unleashed calendar, if you will, a street circuit.
Is it
Not
really?
even a street, it's an airfield.
Kind of like Silverstone used to be, right?
Yeah, I suppose so, but bumpier. Yeah. But that is all we have time for today. Make sure you join the Racer League tomorrow. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Can't overtake, he said.